Hi guys, apologies for not having the usual no late fees intro, but StreamYard have decided to be arseholes and they're now trying to charge you to play an intro. That's unbelievable. That I can't believe they've done that. You
I
think
know.
last?
I know the format has changed an awful lot, isn't it? Probably since you last hosted a live.
Yeah, last time I did a live, I think it was last year when funny enough, when we did the last Alien stream, and I didn't realise that now you got to pay in order to use your own intro. That's really naughty, that isn't it? They're just really
Not
cracking
unsurprising,
down.
no. Yeah. How much is like StreamYard for a...
Oh, it's stupid money, which is why I won't pay for it. It's like 30 quid a month or something. Yeah, it's stupid money. And what you get for that, it's really not worth it.
No.
Yeah, that's really bad, isn't it? But anyway, we're not here to talk about StreamYard and their shenanigans. We're here to talk about Alien Earth and, if we get time, Romulus as well, because we never got a chance to cover that before, did we? But how are you two fellas? You good?
Yeah, all good.
Paul?
Yeah, not bad. Just busy. I feel, yeah, yeah. I've got a lot. I've got a lot on with work and had my kids for 4.5 weeks. They went back last Tuesday. So yeah, being a single dad for 4.5 weeks is put it this way, Scott. I don't envy it because it's hard graft. It
I
is
was then going
hard
to
work.
say, being a single dad.
Yeah, I don't suppose it's
mate,
easy, is it?
it's hard work.
After
Yeah.
4.5 weeks, honestly, I needed a holiday. I was meant to have them for 4, so I planned to have like a couple of days to myself after they went back. But then, yeah, the mother couldn't pick them up or something, so I had them for an extra few days. The days I was meant to have off, so it was literally took the kids back to Edinburgh. Next day, I was like bang straight into it, and yeah, work's pretty busy, which I'm not going to complain about because, yeah, it's going good at the minute.
Yeah, now you work for yourself. I suppose you can't complain about that, can you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like any money I make, I just bank it. Like, I'm ready for, because I know it's not always going to be good. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, you
yeah,
can have a dry spell at some point, I suppose, aren't
yeah,
you? Yeah,
exactly.
thinking ahead, isn't it?
Well, I did go through one just a few months ago. I remember speaking to you guys and a few others about it, and yeah, I learned a few lessons from that. So, but luckily everything's been definitely on like an upward trajectory since then.
Yeah,
So
good. Good. That's good to
yeah.
hear.
But I've been
So,
really looking forward to obviously Alien Earth. I know
yeah.
we're all huge aliens, and massive fans of it. And the teasers and the little clips really were whetting my appetite for it a lot. So I'm really interested to hear your guys' thoughts about it as well.
Well, I
Um,
mean, before we get like into the nitty gritty of it, what was your thoughts in general about it? Because I watched it the first time and I thought, actually, this is really good. I actually prefer it to Romulus. And then I watched it a second time because something just felt a little off with it. I couldn't put my finger on it, right?
I
And then
tell
when I
you what,
watched,
the build up to it though, the campaign or the advertisement for it was brilliant.
yeah,
The whole hype and the build up,
oh yeah, they did a good job with that for sure.
really good.
But
yeah, I was impressed with that. One thing that I think I've mentioned to you guys personally was I was a little bit maybe not turned on by the idea of aliens being on Earth before
yeah,
Alien, and because the whole point was we didn't really want them to get to Earth, so I was a bit kind of like, I don't know if it's the right thing to do. We got like Prometheus and what have you were set on planets, but obviously like millions of light years away from Earth. So
well, the
I
thing
was a
is,
bit I
though,
was a bit dubious.
a couple of things I took from that, though, right, was I don't know if you remember at the end of Alien 4 when they are heading back to Earth. You see like the planet looks pretty devastated, right? Like there's been some sort of nuclear war,
Mm.
and I'm wondering if this is what's going to lead to that. That they maybe nuke the
Yeah.
area to cover it up, and maybe that's why. In Alien 4 when they go back to Earth, because they do refer to
Well,
Alien to Earth as being a shithole, don't they? If you remember, so this could be why, right?
I
So
must admit that that is one of the burning questions I've got already about
yeah,
where this series is going to go.
yeah, but I mean the other thing, of course, is that the guy that directed it actually turned around. He made a statement after the episodes come out, saying something along the lines of, "Well, it doesn't have to fit into the canon perfectly." Making out like it might be different universe. So I don't know. We'll just have to see
What's the
what
point?
goes on. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, but like I was saying, like when I watched it the second time, I noticed like some of the issues. Especially like I then watched it a third time because, and I know Scott's going to probably touch on this in a minute, is that I found that you have difficulty remembering what happens where, and it's because it just feels like it moves at a million miles an hour. Like when you consider like Alien was very slow paced, very methodical, but really good. It wasn't boring at all, like very tension building. Whereas with this, I find it's got none of that. It just moves a million miles an hour, and you don't get a chance to really think about anything before it's on to the next thing. Like,
I
and
know what you mean. There hasn't been what I would call a filler episode. I think the 2 episodes have been like they've covered a vast amount of information from different parts, like different viewpoints of the story so far. Like normally you get like, I don't know, maybe that might happen. What was it, 10 episodes?
eight
Is
episodes.
it 8?
Yeah.
Well, you might not get one, but you know what I mean. You normally get that filler episode where now it really happens. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe that's just not going to happen.
It's not so much the filler part I'm thinking, it's more like the emotional part of it. It's like nothing gets chance to resonate before it's on to the next thing. Like I know you feel the same way, Scott, because me and you briefly
Yeah,
spoke before, didn't
I,
we?
I think not only is the pacing like a million miles an hour, which I can cope with that, but it jumps from scene to scene to scene and it's really difficult to be able to go at that pace and to jump from different timelines, different scenes, different scenarios. You've got to be really good at keeping the audience in following that journey. And I at times struggled with, I didn't know at what time these things will happen. I don't know if when that jumped from one scene
Yeah.
to another scene, whether that was happening at the same time. There was a little bit where I was confused, where one minute they're in the skyscraper sort of building, then the next second they're back in the alien or the Wayne, the spaceship that's crashed. And I
Yeah.
was just like, hold on a minute, what's going on? Is this happening at the same time? And then when you got all the different parties all at the same time going out, it kind of that was a bit confusing as well.
The
So not
whole
only
the
was
whole
it fast
time
paced,
thing throughout the whole episode so far I found really bizarre. Like when she's remembering like back to when she was a kid, and like everything seems like to me like it's in the 1970s. And then
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that can only be like what 8 or 9 years ago. And then her brother, like she's like a baby and her brother's like a few years older.
Yeah. The
But
age don't
now the
seem to
brother
marry
seems
up.
like
Yeah.
very old. And I'm like, well, have we missed like maybe 2, 3 years here, or is this like 2 months in, or like
yeah.
I think it's very confusing the
See now
timeline, and
you've
that's only
you've
just the
touched
beginning.
you've touched on one of the problems that I've found with this, right? And I should add at this point, we are going to be spoiling this, guys, just to warn you. So if you haven't watched it, go and watch it and then come back to us.
It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
yeah.
definitely people should be making their own minds up for it, but
But I
yeah,
think one of the issues with it is that it doesn't explain things, right? Like, and it falls into the trap, like a couple of traps that Romulus fell into, right? Number one, you don't see what initially happens that leads you to, where the event takes place. Like, for example, we see a brief part on the ship of the Xeno attacking, but we don't really get anything other than that. We don't see how they get free, how the crew gets infected. We don't see any of that, right?
You
And
see some little
there's
flashes of
got
it
to
though,
be
don't you?
there's
You
got to
yeah,
be a
see
flashback episode that like there absolutely has to be.
you
there
do
will
get
be.
little flashes,
There
but
has to be.
yeah, but will they though? Because I mean, Romulus didn't
Oh,
do it, right? I mean,
well, if they
let's not.
don't, they've missed out on what could be an amazing episode
I mean,
or
let's not
two.
forget, like Romulus was really guilty of this, right? Because the story that gets explained by Rook, right? I'll be honest, I wanted to see that. Like, I wanted to see when he explains that, and I'm going to add it actually because I haven't had a chance to say this on the stream yet. Anybody who said that my theory video on Romulus, right, that I was completely mad, go and watch it again, because I wasn't wrong on much. I was pretty spot on when I said he'd cocoon, that they take him in, and that he'd go on a rampage. I was right on all of that. That's exactly what happened, wasn't it? Yet we didn't see it in the film. We just see him take the cocooned alien on board, don't we? So again, like, you don't see it. You just see him take the cocoon in, they cut it open, and then it flashes to, the people that you're going to be following. And I found that they made a mistake on Romulus doing that, and then they sort of did the same thing with this.
I'm thinking maybe,
No.
though, Lee, because this is a TV series, that it might jump. It's a very popular thing in American TV series to jump timelines.
Like
Yeah.
one
I
episode will
think-
just be, it'll be.
It might
that
do.
whole-
It might.
I think because
true.
we've seen some flashes of what kind of happened, that's going to be more explained as well. I'm hoping as we
Me
go
too.
further in, that's going to explain a bit more about all of that.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been linear up to now, so why?
Well, no.
Yeah, hopefully. But I mean, there's a lot of. This is why they need to explore that, because there's a lot of questions there. Like, why is, for example, why is Marrow like head of security, not a science officer? Why is he a cyborg and not an android? These are all questions I've got. Like, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Why is it different here? Like, because
There's some massive positives there, Lee. When you said about the cyborg thing, I really love the whole concept of all the different companies that are trying to get that sort of like
very Blade Runner-esque
immortality. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's a really great idea for this story, in having all the different companies fighting against each other. One's doing cyborgs, one's doing androids, the other one's
doing the hybrids.
The hybrids, and I think that's a really good idea, which is something new to the whole Alien universe, because we've never seen, as far as I know, there's never been no cyborg or that before, is there?
That's the other thing as well, isn't it? Is that you realise that there's 5 different corporations, because they talk about it, didn't they, at the start? That whole conversation at the start really bugs the hell out of me, where he's explaining it to the kid, and it's like, how would that kid not know who he's working for? Come on, that don't make any sense. But obviously it's for our benefit, but it doesn't make much sense in the conversation, right? But we find out there's 5 corporations. Of course, by the time we get to Aliens, we know that Weyland-Yutani is everything. So,
well, we know that Weyland, they win.
Yeah, so they will buy everything.
Everything, how all these other companies are going to fail. And what I like about it is it's kind of like telling them the Google, Amazon, Apple, sort of scenario now.
Yeah, there will be dominance. Yeah. But I mean, that there was a couple of things that kind of bugged me at the start, like the whole thing with the, when the computer boots up and it's reflecting off the helmet, and I thought, oh, come on, you're doing that again. They did that in Alien. Why are you doing that again? And there was a few bits that started to fall into the trap that I think Romulus did, where they were copying bits that we'd seen in other films. For me, I'm quite happy for it to look like Alien, not copy it. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean,
yeah.
I think it's interesting. For me, I've kind of thought of it more as like nods to the
but there's a lot of nods, isn't there? Like Ginger Cat,
can I just say, come on, don't kill the cat.
And also,
I thought that cat scene was the best scene in the whole thing. It was brilliant.
What about
I love Jonesy.
What about the cryotubes, though? Right, this is going to sound really nitpicky when I say this, but did it bug you when the doors opened on the cryotubes, because they were way too fast and they seemed a bit glitchy as well? Like they weren't like Alien, where they opened slowly and it looked like a. They just.
But that was that. The Aliens 2 years after. Maybe they sorted it out.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it's a bit rubbish. Like when I noticed that, like, I couldn't help but think to myself, like, you get a bit nitpicky now, Lee. But yeah, I noticed it straight away. I don't like that. And I did notice it's a very diverse crew as well. Did you notice that? Like, very diverse crew on the Imagino.
Well, I think I'm just used to seeing that now. It's like watching TV adverts. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying that it was a diverse crew, but
Yeah.
what was refreshing is it weren't all kids. They were actually the engineer
Oh, yeah,
sitting
yeah.
in the background. He was believable.
Yeah.
They're not all kids. They are actual,
Yeah.
above the age of 30. Do you
I
know
mean,
what I mean?
I'll be honest, I didn't have a problem with the diversity at all because it makes sense. But I just thought it was funny because they almost like went out of their way to point it out because as the cryotubes open, you see like the camera move around, and I noticed it was literally like in order of different cultural backgrounds, like and it was
yeah.
like it's like, yeah, I get what you're doing, but you didn't have to quite do it so much on the nose. We get it, it's space. You're gonna have people from everywhere, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't overly offensive. Like, I mean, for me, it was more about the conversation around the table. I kind of thought it was a bit dumb, you know. But
Well, obviously, again, for me, that was another nod to Alien, to show that the working class and uh,
yeah, but did
for
you
me,
not think the conversation was better in Alien than it was in this, though? That's what I'm getting at. Like, the dialect just seemed a bit sort of dumb. Like,
Yeah, but back then we wrote, or there was great talent in writing scripts and
yeah,
writing
yeah,
great things.
what I do think that they've got right though is the set design, and I
oh yeah,
thought everything
absolutely,
like that was just like really, really good.
yeah,
Like from that first scene, like it really felt like a Whalen Yutani back then, or
yeah.
was it just weird though? It's just Whalen, isn't it? So like I think they've got it like spot on. Like it really
Yeah, I
does
think it
feel.
is actually Wayland Yutani. It is at that point. They do refer to it as Wayland Yutani.
So,
So yeah,
but that's just because obviously when they go back to Earth, it's like you only hear them called Yutani. So it's like, well, have they
Mm.
like merged yet? Do you know what I
well,
mean?
I know that when they're mentioned a few times during these episodes, they do refer to him as Wayland Yutani. However, when he does talk to the woman, he refers to her as Yutani, but that's because that's her
Yeah.
name. So yeah, I think
I don't know if they've amalgamated yet, but then I figured
according
what
to
was
a map I saw for Alien Earth, it does say that they are Wayland Yutani. So yeah,
well in that case as well. The other point I thought I mentioned was that the time scale of the mission that they've been on as well. Like
yeah,
that means that they've left like quite a while before, obviously. I mean, before all this has happened.
yeah.
So I don't know. Like the timeline really just didn't add up for me, which is a bit.
Well, I mean, I was trying to work out because they say it's 65 years, right? It's a 65-year mission. That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which is now why I was then starting to think, well, maybe that's why they used a cyborg. But then I remembered Mr. Tang is an android, isn't he? He's on
Yeah,
that crew too. So I
yeah.
thought, okay, so it's not that then. But I'm just thinking, I mean, like, if they're counting Prometheus and Covenant, where was that in the timeline before Alien? Because I can only assume that you're meant to think that they know about this stuff from Prometheus, maybe.
I think they're completely disregarding all of that, all the
It feels
prequel.
like it, doesn't it?
I think that the only attachment the writer's got, or the guy that's made this, I can't think of his name. It's the guy that done Fargo, isn't it? Anyway, I think that he's just got the love for Alien and Aliens, and he's not even thinking about Prometheus or any of them.
Yeah, it's kind of scrappy, isn't it? Because obviously Romulus went out of its way to include Prometheus, didn't it? And
Yes.
so, like, they need to make a decision: are they including it or aren't they? You know, because it is making it a little bit sort of scrappy now. Because, like I say, I can't remember how many years before it is, but I mean, if it's less than 65, that kind of then wouldn't make sense with
I
this
think it's 50,
65-year
but
mission.
I'm not. I did see like a timeline thing today,
Yeah,
and I think it might have been 50,
yeah.
30 or 50 years. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it wouldn't add up, would it? But yeah, I mean, this is the trouble, I suppose. Like, this is what we're finding with a lot of canon stuff at the moment. You know, they don't add up, do they? Because I think that you've got so many different people doing it that nobody's
Yeah.
overseeing it, are they? And so mistakes are made. But yeah, I mean, like you said, like the set design is on point, absolutely.
Yeah, even the
Um,
hairstyles, very like 70s sort of looking, like
Mm.
80s sort of.
Yeah,
I
I
just thought
wouldn't
it
say
looked good.
that. I wouldn't say that Wendy's hairdo is great though. That's a terrible hairdo, isn't it? What's
It's a bit
that
like
all
what
about?
Pamela Anderson has now. Have you seen her hair?
Yeah,
It's like it reminded me of that. I was like, wow, okay.
It's not
Obviously
good
very
hairdo.
confident.
But I don't know if you noticed also though that the sort of backgrounds, I don't know if it would be, I suppose it is CGI, but when you're seeing the backdrops and that, they all look pretty good as well. So one thing you can say is it looks good, and also they do even bring in like the sound and the music from Alien,
Yes,
as well as the font at the start, which I thought was quite nice as well. The way that the alien and then Earth comes up like it did on the
Yeah,
first one.
I like the intro. I thought the intro was
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah.
So so what do you think of the fact that this is 2 years before Alien? Then what do you think of that?
Well, my what I find difficult is when you look at the technology they had in Alien, and then you look at if this is set before Alien, it just doesn't seem to make sense in my head that they've got the technology to transfer a consciousness into like an android, but yet they still use like 1970s sort of tech, like to like for the like landing, like for the to pilot the ships and stuff like that. I don't know. It
Yeah.
just it's like what Prometheus done, and where like the technology seems more advanced than what it does when it should be like an earlier tech. I don't know. It just looked too advanced to to where it should be. That was my first thought. I'm like, wow, like how is this technology more advanced than what it is in Aliens, certainly Alien 3. Do you know what I mean? I don't know,
Do you
it's
know
one of the bugs I thought for me personally.
one of the things I put it down to when it comes to the technologies, because this is a different company, right?
yeah,
And also because Weyland-Yutani purposely give their people, I think, the crappiest equipment going, like the bare minimum, And I
Mm,
think that's probably the difference, because I don't know if you noticed that there's a throwaway line that Boy Cavalier says, dumbest name ever, by the way, where he says that it's not about the money for him. And I thought, yeah, that makes sense because you're clearly spending more money on tech for sure. So, yeah.
and I think somewhere maybe again with the storyline is yes, the hybrids are way more advanced and all that, but perhaps there's a failing with them, and that's why you don't see hybrids and androids.
Oh, there's no perhaps. You can see it in these
Yeah,
episodes. There's a
something.
problem.
Yeah, something's got to happen, hasn't it? So
You can't put kids in robot bodies and then go, tell you what, go on a ship where there's loads of dangerous animals. Oh, and by the way, don't panic. Like, it just doesn't work, does it?
for me as well, it's completely made me question, like why send these guys to LV-426 at all? Why not just send a spaceship full of androids,
Yeah.
which are not going to be interested in killing these guys and using them for
that
hosts,
is,
etc.?
But
they're
again,
definitely, yeah.
It's kind of like made me question that, and I'm like, well,
but
originally I
does
would
it though?
never
Because
question that, but
the Marines are sent by Weyland-Yutani, right? At that
yeah,
point,
who've got Bishop, do you know what I mean?
but at
Like
that
they've got
point,
their own.
Prodigy's not going to exist, is it? That's the point. So,
Well, I don't mean like, I mean like just androids in general. Why, if they seem that common, then why send people at all?
well, the only thing I can assume is that maybe the synth technology gets destroyed and Wayland never get hold of that tech, maybe. Or maybe it's just that they don't want to waste money. I mean, don't forget, they want to send Colonial Marines go in to get infected, don't they? So
Yeah.
maybe that's the other reason. But you have
Yeah.
touched on something I did notice, right? That didn't make sense to me. But we'll get to that as we go through, because otherwise we're going to be jumping like a long way into it. But I noticed like a weapon that was used, and I thought, mate, they could have done with that in Aliens, couldn't they?
I was going to touch on that, but I thought I will mention that later.
yeah. So we'll get to that anyway. But yeah, like one of the things that as a general thing I noticed is what I did like was at times when they're moving around, you could see some of these creatures that were loose moving around behind them. Did you notice that? Like
Yeah.
they turn around a corner and you'd see the xenomorph tail go up in the ceiling, or
Was that when the
or
guy, when I think they see the chest burster, and you're looking at the medic looking in, and
yeah,
you see in the background? I did notice that. That was the second time I watched it, though. I didn't notice it the first time.
yeah, and there's even a bit like where like when they go into the room. I know I'm jumping forward again, but it's related. The bit when they go into the room where the eggs are, right? Just before they go in, I don't even notice you see the cables behind Wendy moving. And I couldn't help
Yeah.
but think, hello, what's crawling around up there above them, sort of thing, you
Mm.
know? So, yeah. But there's a lot of little details like that where things are moving, and obviously there's a part later on that involves a statue, and I knew full well what was going to happen with that. It was so obvious because it was done in the first Alien film, wasn't it? You know, the part with Brett when he walks, you know, he doesn't realise it's above him in the chains.
Yeah.
There was a scene that's very similar, wasn't there, in this? And I knew the minute they walked past that ornament, that statue, I thought, yeah, it's going to appear on that, and it, you know, of course it did. So, but yeah,
What did you guys think though of the other aliens that are in it?
Bit lame, if I'm honest.
I kind of like it.
I thought some of them were all right.
I like that
I'm
one with all
intrigued.
the eyes, the handy, you know, the like tentacle looking thing.
Little spider sort of looking.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
even that led to a few problems though, because I mean, one of the problems I had, right, is these simps are meant to be like literally super soldiers, right? So why does he have such a hard time holding that metal container down when he's got that thing in it? That should be easy to him, right?
I actually think
I think it's in here for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize his own strength. I don't think any of them do, really.
And I actually think that Wendy is more special than the others.
Yeah.
They kind of addressed that a little bit.
She's definitely wired different. 'Cause, I mean, obviously they explain in this that kids' minds are the only things they can transfer to these bodies because adults are too like their memory or whatever's too big, which makes sense, right?
I really like that the flaw is that they're kids, the minds of children, like what Paul touched on there. You know, they genuinely were scared, weren't they, at times? And that other guy was having to tell them, look,
yeah,
you're not animals, stop being scared.
Yeah, Kirsch, yeah. I actually quite like his character, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
me too. Very dry, like it.
Yeah. And the hairdo
reminds me a bit
of
of
Blade Runner.
It's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
He really does, yeah.
Yeah.
With the hair as well. Like, yeah, I like him.
But yeah, well anyway, before we jump in too much, what was it I was going to say here? We already covered the Weyland-Yutani vessel, Convo, yeah, Mr. Tang. Now, this is one thing I wanted to say about Mr. Tang, right? Notice he showed signs of being creepy, where he sort of standing, like, and I think that was like a kind of nod to say, yeah, this is why Ash goes a bit mental. Like, you know, like you can already see the creepiness with him. And obviously, Bishop says in Aliens, where they were a bit twitchy. I think you can definitely see it there.
When he was studying the facehuggers, you get that little moment with Bishop.
Yeah.
We'll see it soon.
Yeah.
where it's like, he's like, is everything okay? And he's like, yeah. And then for me personally, I think with Ash, because he had two aims, one to bring the alien or something back, and the other to help the crew. I think it kind of just, I think that's what messed him up, because he couldn't do both things at the same time, and I think that's just why he went a bit nuts.
Yeah, true. I did make a note here where I put guessing they used androids later as cyborgs were easily spotted, because I did notice that people picked up on him being a cyborg quite quickly, didn't they? And I wonder if that's maybe why later on they use more androids, because they're not so easy to spot. Like, people seem to know he was a cyborg, like literally straight away. The first time they'd see him, they're like, he's a cyborg, you know? I wonder if that's why later we don't see cyborgs so much. Maybe it's because androids could be mistaken as humans quite easily, so they're better for their goals.
Because they said of like the trouble that they had getting hold of the specimens, I think maybe we might get to see him using, you know, these different attachment sort of things that he's got. So, like, I don't think he'll have been able to hide it as well. I think, you know, we'll go back to possibly what happened on the ship between when the 4 months out and it crashes. but also there's definitely another episode there of
Yeah.
them actually getting the the different sort of species, and because I said they lost a lot of guys
Yeah, they did
doing
say
that as
that.
well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think we might get we'll find out more, because at the minute we don't really know much about any of those characters
No,
really, apart from him.
no.
So I think
And the
we'll
point
definitely go into that.
why would you send that spaceship back to Earth with all them specimens on it?
Mm.
Why not to another planet? Why to Earth?
A
We've
lot
got
of
to find
people have
out
said
why.
that. Yeah.
We've got to find
A
out why, haven't we? There's so much we need to know.
lot of people have said that because, like, obviously, it even gets mentioned in the episodes that Wayland Yutani owns Mars and one of the other planets.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, why didn't they just land it there then? Like, yeah, a lot of people have asked this.
It does also say that the navigational system on the
It
ship
does,
has
yeah.
been tampered with,
Compromised,
or
yeah.
so obviously there's someone there
Mm.
who's possibly working for another company or something,
Yeah.
something like that, So
You've just reminded me of something there, right? Now, obviously, we see a part where, the Xenomorph's coming from a member of the crew. We got Morrow in the computer room. He won't let her in. He's talking to Mother. And then he decides to weld the door, let her see her fate. And I was talking to Chef the other day, and it's a shame he's not on here because he said he liked the bit where you actually see a bit more of the Xenomorph actually attacking someone. And you actually see that there is a certain aspect that you could fight back to a certain degree because she tries, don't she? Which is pretty cool because we've never really seen it that close up when they're attacking,
Yeah.
right?
it's funny that she almost fights back, but yet later on it goes into a room with about 7 or 8 people and just absolutely decimates everyone.
Well, yeah, I mean,
maybe it's learning.
well, I have my issues with that as well, but I mean, and I'm sure you probably will when I explain what I'm on about. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So you see that she tries to fight off, and then obviously he calm as you like opens what's called an impact room, and he gets in there. And what I found interesting is that impact room is only for one person. So at that point, I was like, so was this planned in? Because why would you have that room just for one person if there's a crash? I mean, it's an impact room, so it's clearly for if you crashed. Why
What
is it
was
only
the
for
one
one
of
person?
those on Alien? Because I can't remember it on Alien.
Don't ever remember seeing one, no.
In
there
the
weren't.
mother room, like I can't remember there being one there.
No.
No, because I mean,
So
obviously it's in the floor, isn't it? So, I mean, it could have been, but again, though, what I ask is why is it only for one person? Because, you've got several people on the crew. Why would you only have an impact room for one person? And who is that person supposed to be?
maybe because you have like evacuation ships, like what Ripley escaped on,
Yeah.
and
Maybe.
Romulus. Maybe whoever like sets the self-destruct, or I don't know, something like that. Maybe it's for that one person
them.
who's got to stay behind. The
Yeah,
captain goes
maybe.
down with the ship, something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, that sort of like then leads to other things because, which is quite interesting because like it's like smashing the crap out of the door trying to get it open, isn't it? And then a little while later, we see obviously the ship go ploughing into some sort of space station thing. And do you know the first thing I thought, right? In this day and age, we've got early warning systems, right? Like even now, right? If a meteor
Yeah.
was coming, we've got a system that picks it up. Why did no one see this massive ship heading towards Earth? Especially considering it's just at a space station. You would have thought someone might have gone, hang on a minute,
Considering they've said 4 months ago that they're heading directly towards Earth, like it's not like they've had, what was it, 3 million seconds or something to figure out something to do.
Yeah. I didn't. That's part I didn't understand because I was like, right, well, you expecting me to believe this is in the distant future, or not so distant future, but you now don't have early warning systems. What's going on here? Like, so yeah. But I suppose you have to suspend your belief a bit. But I do think it's a bit dumb. I think they could have easily wrote that in and easily got around that problem if they had a thought about it. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it was a mistake on their part. Maybe they didn't think of that. Because, like I say, we do have that sort of thing now. They can pick up when satellites are going to hit the space station. They can pick up when meteors are coming. Like, I did think it was interesting that they didn't pick up this huge spaceship heading towards Earth, but
Again, that might be
Yeah.
explained though in a future episode. There might be an explanation for that.
maybe. But I'll be honest, I don't have
I
that
doubt
much
it,
faith
but
in
there might
Disney.
be.
So, you know.
Fair one.
So here's a question for you fellas. In what did you think of the whole Peter Pan thing? Because it's quite clear that there's a heavy influence of Peter Pan involved in this, and it's all over it.
I actually really like it. Something different,
Yeah,
different take on it. I actually think what we've seen of the actors that are playing the roles of the sort of hybrids as kids, I actually think they're all pretty good. They're really, really good.
they are, but they're annoying though. I find them really annoying.
Even they're kids. They're supposed to be.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It just reminds me of that stupid Marvel humor, and I just think it isn't.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be an alien. That's the problem.
For me,
Like, all tension's gone because of it. You know.
I like. Not for one second do I believe that their consciousness is inside of that new body. I think
Yeah.
they're dead, and
Yeah.
it's just took a copy and
Yeah.
put it in a machine.
Yeah.
Like when you're dead, you're dead. It doesn't matter whether you've scanned the brain and copied everything and put all the memories in there. If you've got no emotion,
Yeah.
you're not alive. You know, it's like it's just a copy. It's not the original. So for
Yeah.
me, they're just. I know she says she's human, and she's got the memories and what have you. But I think they're dead, and that it's just a fake.
There are, I mean, there are little bits where you see the child sort of come out. Like, for example, when Wendy's like, "These are weird," and she's talking about her breasts, right? Which makes
Yeah.
sense. You know, a minute ago she was 10 or whatever she was, and now she's an adult. So yeah, they'd be weird, right? And it was all right in that part because you know we're not at a serious part. But what I'm finding is at serious moments, you've got these characters being dickheads, and you know, like when they're shoving each other and calling each other names, and it's like, yeah, but you're in a ship with an alien that's trying to kill you. You're meant to be building tension here, and you've got these little idiots pushing each other around and mucking about. And I don't know if you notice, right? Every time you watch an alien film, you feel tension, right? As the watcher, have you felt any tension watching this? Because I'm telling you, I have not, none at all.
No,
And that's
No.
why, because of that humor.
I'm still interested in it.
Me too.
Like I like the action scenes and stuff like that, but there's no
No,
like long drawn out silences or where you're waiting for something to happen and you think it's going to be around this corner but it's not, and then it comes from behind. Or
yeah.
it just hasn't had me yet, but it's
I
early,
just think
it's early days.
we're all used to an alien film. This is a TV show.
Yeah,
So I think that plays a part in it.
Yeah, but you know the other problem with it is though is that like
True.
what I've noticed, the Alien franchise is now becoming more about the artificial intelligence stuff, and in this case also other species, and it's almost like the xenomorph is like a third or secondary bad guy in its own series. Like that's what I'm feeling watching this, and it
But
just
don't you
doesn't feel like Alien in that respect.
What's really difficult, I think, with franchises like this that we love, and especially Alien, is when you had Alien and Aliens, which, you know, some of the best sci-fi horror ever made. Where can you go next with it? And you've seen it happen with all the other follow-up films where they've tried to do something different and it just doesn't work. And it's really difficult because we know everything there is to know about a xenomorph. We know it.
yeah.
So it's really hard for a filmmaker or someone trying to tell a new story to do anything. You know, they've got to use maybe, you know, some are leaning towards the more artificial life and more of the human, different scenarios. And I do think in why this TV series has got these other alien species in it is for that very reason, is that we've got something that we don't know about them, because we do all know everything there is to know about the xenomorph, haven't we?
I get that, but what it is for me, like you remember what Spider-Man 3 suffered from, right? Too many villains, and I feel like that's what you got going on here. You know, because you got
Yeah, it could be.
you got Sims, you got other alien species, then the xenomorph, right? And it's like it's just too much. Like maybe if they'd have done the hybrid Simps, right, and the Xenomorph, that would have worked. But I just think the fact that you got all of that in there, that I don't know, it just feels like a lot. It almost feels like a Prometheus situation where it's like, let's chuck all this in and see how it sticks. Like, you know, yeah, I don't feel any tension at all watching this. Like, there's only one part I saw where I was like, oh, that's quite good. And that was the part where they're walking along the corridors and you can clearly see that the Xenomorph's stalking them. He's watching them.
Yeah.
He like sort of climbs down. He's watching through the cables. And I thought that bit was pretty well done. So I thought, oh, nice. Like, we're actually seeing him stalk them, which is pretty good. We didn't see that so much in the first film. Not from a distance.
The first 2 episodes are definitely building not so much tension, but more action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we move into
It's like an
the
adventure
second
film. It's like
episode-
an adventure at the minute for me, I think.
Yeah. It's
But-
definitely more action orientated. Like some of the action scenes in it, I thought were fantastic for a TV show.
The parts where you see the Xenomorph running and stuff, like
Yeah.
chasing, that looked really well done. Yeah. But
And the fact that it was practical effects.
yes, yeah.
You know, I was
Same as-
really worried that the Xenomorph was going to be
All
CGI.
CGI, yeah. And I mean,
Yeah.
like when it's fighting the woman on the ship as well, I mean,
Yeah.
that looked all good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say one of what I thought personally was one of the bad points, and I know it's because it's a TV series and not a movie, but it was when some of the species were like on a human backdrop, like a human face,
Look bad, right?
like, and I just
Yeah.
thought that they were really, really bad.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, oh, I wish.
Yeah, those tick things looked ridiculous, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
they
not
looked
impressed.
that looked very Doctor Who, didn't it? With them tick
Well, like
things.
early 2000s CGI. I'd
Yeah,
say.
like
That's
something
what it
with
looked
like
wasn't it?
sliders or something. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean? I was
really
just like,
bad.
nah.
But I mean, if they're keeping the budget down, I can kind of let it go, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
The Xenomorph being a man in a suit, I thought was great. I really liked that.
yeah, but there's one problem I've got, and while we're talking about the Xenomorph, I'm going to mention it, right? There's one problem I've got with the Xenomorph. Why is the Xenomorph now just turned into a non-stop killing machine? Because that's not how they work, is it? They don't just
No.
kill everybody. They
collect.
take people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden we've just got a slasher movie going on. And that did bug me because I was like, why is it just rampaging through, killing everybody it comes in contact with? Like, it should be grabbing
because
people.
they've already got the eggs in it, because you could tell.
Well,
that
yeah,
it
but
was-
you've got to take people to
It's
the eggs,
full of
right?
hosts. It's full of
Yeah.
hosts.
True.
That's what I couldn't
Yeah.
understand. Why is he not trying to build his army? Like, that's how aliens work, right? Like, it's like, right, grab a few
Build a
people,
hive.
the eggs hatch, yeah, build a hive.
Perhaps
And
it's because it was outside of that ship and it was and there was a lot of people. It just thought, right, let's fucking destroy all these
Party
people.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get to
know.
that bit, but that bit is funny, right? But we'll get
Yeah.
to that in a bit
Yeah.
because I think that's episode 2, isn't it? So
That is, yeah.
So obviously, I touched on the fact that it's heavily on Peter Pan, right? Now, see what you think of this, because what I wrote down here was Boy Cavalier is clearly Peter Pan. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. The hybrids, obviously, they're called the Lost Boys, and they have the names of the Lost Boys. So clearly, they're Peter Pan. Now, what do you think it is? The Xenomorph is the crocodile from Peter Pan. Would you agree with that?
Could be, yeah.
And Moro, the cyborg, is Captain Hook because he can change his hands, can't he?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
You've definitely been thinking about this, Lee. haven't you?
Yes.
It's a bit like Pocahontas and what was that 3D film called? The oh Christ, I forget what Avatar. No, remember Avatar's just like basically
Yeah.
Pocahontas, just like
Yeah.
reskinned.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I get it because it fits with the story because of obviously what they're doing here with the hybrids, right? So it does work. And also, why not get a bit of free advertising? You are Disney, they are your properties.
True.
I mean, you even see Ice Age pop
Ice
up
Age,
later on.
yeah.
That's theirs as well. They own that now. Pity they showed the worst one, but nevertheless, because that
What
was
was the
worst.
cartoon? Because there was like a hand drawn cartoon, isn't it, in the ceiling? I didn't recognize what cartoon it was. You know, when they say, "Let me show you some magic."
Oh, that was Peter Pan, wasn't it? When he was showing that.
Oh, was it Peter Pan?
Yeah, I think
okay.
it was, yeah.
Yeah, that was Peter Pan.
Well, there you go.
So Right, now there's a bit where there's a bit of an interesting philosophical debate between Kirsch and Wendy, which I found quite interesting. In fact, they have a couple, but because there's one at the start when he's talking about the scorpion and that, isn't there?
Yeah.
But then
Mhm.
obviously later on, when he talks to them about, the fact that they've always been food, and then they started telling themselves that they're not, by building things. And then there's obviously that conversation with the doctor where he's saying she's not human anymore, so why are we pretending she is? And there's that whole debate. Like it's almost like a kind of, what is it to be human? And she still sees herself as being human, doesn't she? And I think that's playing to what you were saying earlier, Paul, where you said, or was it you, Scott, who said it? One of you said she's not like the others, and I think you're right, because she still sees herself as being human.
I definitely think
You know?
she is going to be something else.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely. There's going to be something there. Like they already showed her powers in when she jumped off
Yeah.
that massive mountain, didn't she, and landed. We've not seen any of the other hybrids do anything like that yet.
No,
So-
there was a slight problem I had with that when she did jump off that. Did you notice that the ground didn't
She
change?
didn't weigh much.
Yeah, the ground doesn't change. When she lands,
No.
there should be like massive craters where her feet landed, right?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Nothing,
really.
like nothing at all.
But it was in sand as well, I'm pretty sure. So you would have
Yeah.
thought, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But she runs like a tier 1000. I did notice that.
Yes, I noticed that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Funny that, isn't it? Like a racer, what would be even the point? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, well, we talked about the impact room, and I said here, like, I wonder if the plan was to crash all along. I do wonder that, because it only accounted for one person. Oh, here's something. Early versions of the APC and the dropship. Because I know you notice, like, that the armored cars that go in, they do look like a kind of precursor to the APC, don't they?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Even when it was showing the wheels, I thought, yeah, they look very similar, didn't they? Like,
Definitely
I mean,
styled on.
yeah.
I made a few notes about that because I thought the commandos definitely had an early feel of the colonial marines about them. Obviously, the weapons look like an early version of a pulse
Of a
rifle.
pulse rifle, yeah.
You saw an earlier version of a mute gun, where it was like attached to them when they were on top of the building.
That's right, on the roof,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then obviously the cameras, but like they weren't as good. I was almost expecting him to say, "Can you sort your camera out?" Do you know what I mean? I was kind of expecting that. But yeah, there were more basic versions of what we'd seen in later films, or what are meant to be like set at a later date. Which for me, that was a lot better because obviously,
it kind
like
of
one of my
worked, right?
main things I hated about Romulus was the fact that the weapons were more advanced than what they are in Aliens, which is what the colonial marines have.
Yeah,
And
when
I'm
it
like,
self-aims and stuff, yeah,
yeah,
ridiculous. Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with you. Totally agree. I
So
think
no,
they did a better job.
I thought with the colonial marines, even the guy in charge, there was a few of the scenes that he had were like similar to Airborne.
Yeah.
There was just a few bits and pieces like that I thought, yeah, that's believable.
And the drop ship as well, like when they get on that what looks
Yeah.
like a kind of plane helicopter thing, it reminded me of the drop ship. I
Yeah.
thought that looked pretty smart as well, Yeah, I think they did a good job with that. Like, this is the thing, aesthetically, it looks really good. It does.
Mhm.
And they've done a good job, like you say, unlike Romulus, where they've done stuff that's a little bit too technical, Yeah,
Yeah.
this kind of works, doesn't it? But after that, right, I put here, this was a bit I noticed in the background. I don't know if any of you noticed it. When they're going along and they're going, go back, there's medics further back, search and rescue. And a guy gets pancaked by some falling debris. Did you see that bit?
Yeah.
There's like a guy in a suit
Oh, I
walking
can't remember.
along. He's approaching him, and you just see a load of debris just flatten him. And I thought that was quite funny. I actually started laughing when that happened.
I thought when they got to the crash site, it had a real like 9/11 sort of feel to it.
Yeah,
Like in my head, that's what I likened it to. I thought that was really good. Like the total chaos, like as you say, like bits of debris falling down, smashing all over the place. like really chaotic, and then the poor commandos, I think aren't they called? They're just like that. Yeah, get in, just go, and they're like,
Yeah, yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Marines are not Wayland. Yeah, colonial Marines. Yeah, no, they're not. Yeah.
No, no, the
They're the
well,
Prodigy Marines, isn't
yeah,
they?
I was going to say
Yeah.
they're not Wayland at all, are they? Because
Well, a lot of them aren't even Marines. They're search and rescue, aren't they? So a lot of them
yeah,
aren't even Marines. So, yeah.
but it's like, isn't it? It's a Wayland ship, but it's landed in a different sort of company's area, isn't it? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
And you'll
they're
notice that the
definitely not
territory
Wayland.
thing is almost like countries and wars. If you notice, he made it clear to her, if you come in, that'll be seen as
Well,
aggression. Like, you
see,
know?
I have got a little bit of a theory here because this is something that I think I noticed, but I've not heard anyone else pick up on it. But when you look at what's the young guy called, like the Peter Pan guy? When you
Boy
look at his
Cavalier.
Yeah, the
when you
boy
look
Cavalier
in the
or whatever.
background, he's got like faces on there.
Yes. Yeah.
And now I think that one of the faces on there looks remarkably like the android, the one who's like really spooky. I'm sure I wanted to go back
Kang.
and watch it, but I really think that one of the faces really looks like him. So I'm wondering if he's all known about this and has kind of somehow engineered this crash for the ship to
Yeah.
land there so
Could
that he
be.
can steal their technology. That's my theory. Just because I saw that face and I'm like, that really looks like, I don't know, I'm sure I'm not having a racist moment, but it really did look like similar to
Yeah.
the android. So I was
But
just like, I
also,
wonder if
there's
that's what's happened there.
a lot of people are thinking that he might be a hybrid himself as well. Because it is
Well,
odd
yeah.
that he's a young trillionaire sort of thing. It's like, is that because he was super smart? He had a supercomputer for a brain, as he puts it. You know, was he the first synth? Is that why he's a trillionaire? Like, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
I think there's going to be lots of twists and turns in this. I really do.
Well, when he says, I want to have a interesting conversation with somebody smarter than me, and then obviously the woman even points out, which was my first fault, well, then why put kids in hybrid bodies or synth bodies in? Because that won't do that. But then he explains, well, but they're going to have supercomputers for brains. And at that point, I was like, well, actually, yeah, that makes sense because they've not been influenced by adults.
Yeah, but they also
You know?
can't do it to adults.
Yeah,
It's
they
only
can't.
children that could do it, won't it?
Allegedly.
Yeah, they can't. But what I'm
Allegedly.
saying is the reason why he's saying he'd have a more intelligent conversation with them is because they're kids that have now got a supercomputer for a brain.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I'm
I get
saying
what you
is
mean.
they're not going to get infected by being an adult like we all do. So they're
But
going to
then-
become different types of people, aren't they? That's what I think it is.
There's that one kid who was like, I want to be a scientist, you know, and
Yeah.
it looks to me like he's still just messing around, fannying about in a room with his mates, doing absolutely nothing. Like, it doesn't look to me like any of them are actually, you know, learning at like a geometric rate, or do you know what I mean? Like, none of
No.
them really seem to be doing anything. They just seem to be like bumming about on this
Well,
island.
that was the other thing that sprung to mind with me. Was I thought, well, has he done this because they're easy to manipulate? Because I mean, obviously,
yeah.
Kirsch is leading them, and it's quite easy for him to get them to do stuff. It's not hard.
I think 100% that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did put here guillotine blade and magnetic back. I didn't quite understand that when Wendy snaps the blade off the guillotine.
Yeah.
And then she puts it on her back, and it's like, what is her back magnetic then? Like, hey, what? Like, I didn't quite understand what was going on there. So
Looks cool though.
yeah, it is cool, but yeah, why not just give her a sword though? Like, you know, that's what I thought. Like, just give her a decent weapon. Like,
Well, another interesting view on that is if they haven't given them weapons because they don't want them to like overpower the people who are keeping them there.
yeah.
Yet she went straight there and picked up that and is
So
using it as a
again,
weapon.
she
So
thinks
she's already thought
differently.
about that.
Yeah.
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 None of the rest of them have picked up any weapons. I mean, she just picked up a cuddly toy and then picks up the
weapon,
the
yeah.
guillotine knife.
Well, you'll notice
But
she
yeah.
reacts different as well when she sees blood and bodies and that. She doesn't get quite as emotional as the others seem to. You know, they're like, "Oh God, disgusting!" Like that. She's not like that at all, is she?
No.
She seems to be like,
like
"Yeah, come on, we're
desensitized.
meant to be doing something." Like, you know, yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I did put childlike behaviour. The hybrids is well done, but the Marvel style humour is annoying. I do find it annoying at times. It does break the tension, I find, in places. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, you already said you don't mind it, Scott, didn't you?
No, I don't. I think it's something different. Do you know? This is a TV show at the end of the day, and I think, you know, it's very intimidating if you want to make an Alien TV series or film and you want to make it tension building. You're never going to beat Alien. That's really intimidating. Just imagine if you've got the biggest budget and you want to make a really high tension Alien film. I don't think you're going to beat the original. So you've got to do something different because people have already seen that tension. We already know what the Alien do. So you've got to build something really difficult to get us to be on the edge of our seats. And I thought maybe that we haven't seen enough of that yet, but I thought that's why they had put these other alien species into it, was to make us think, whoa, you know, what's going on here? Because we don't know anything about them. Yes, we've seen a bit.
It's really cool finding out what their little niche is. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
like
I know. Go on.
The little spidery sort of like octopus looking one with the eyes. That one you can see is probably really intelligent because it's watching them all.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see more about that one. God knows what the plant thing does. We haven't really seen anything with that yet, have we?
Well, it's funny. I've got a theory with that because if you look at where it is, right, and it obviously picks up movement.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bit of foreshadowing. I think at some point the xenomorph's going to run under that and that thing's going to grab it. That's what I think. Yeah, I think.
Do any of the aliens attack each other, or have they attacked each other yet, or is it just?
We haven't seen that yet.
No, not yet. No. But I mean, what I think is going to happen is you're going to have a scene where someone's getting chased by the xenomorph, and that plant's going to grab it. I reckon.
I think you could be right there. You know,
because I can't see why else you'd have that hanging in a corridor like that. Like, it's got to be. It's foreshadowing for sure. Something's going to get grabbed by it without a doubt, and I reckon it'll probably be a xenomorph. And maybe this
I like the synth was like he was dying to get out of there, wasn't he? He was like, "I'm so glad I'm away."
Yeah,
he was shitting himself.
I think that what they're probably doing there is they're probably going to use that to show how dangerous the xenomorph is. I think because I imagine it'll probably grab the xenomorph, but the xenomorph will probably come off better. I reckon in that situation.
Maybe not.
For blood at the end of the day,
absolutely destroy the xenomorph.
Maybe,
and then the rest of the plot will be about the eggs that we see in the second episode.
Could be.
You know, we've not seen a face hugger yet properly. We've not seen it impregnate anything because they're all androids. That's going to be interesting. You know, when are the human contact going to be there? What's going to happen?
I've also got a theory on the xenomorph because I wonder if that could be like the early stages of a queen. I did have that thought because I was like, well, what if that is actually a queen, but it's not, you know, developed properly into the queen yet? Like it's an adolescent.
It would explain why it doesn't act like a drone.
Yes.
Where it incapacitates or, you know, and then takes it back.
Exactly.
If it was a queen, it might be making a nest, and the first thing you're going to do is make the place secure, so you get rid of all the threats.
Yeah.
Then after that is when you start bringing the food back.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. Because otherwise,
I think you're onto something though, Lee. I actually think that plant creature is going to kill that xenomorph.
Possibly, yeah.
I actually think that. I really do.
If not that one, it will grab a xenomorph somewhere, I reckon. Because I can't see why else it would be there. It's definitely foreshadowing something because when he's standing there, it comes out, it kind of looks at him, but I think it knows he's artificial, so it don't attack. You know? It follows him, but it doesn't seem to go to attack him. And I think the minute it picks up and saying that's alive, it's going to just go for it. You know, so
and like what Paul touched on about, well, in the future, why don't they just send androids? The one thing that is being very apparent so far in these 2 episodes is these alien species aren't worried about the androids. They're not doing anything to them. They're kind of invincible at the minute, aren't they?
And I've only seen it. I mean, they do attack them in the end, don't they? You know, like what Bishop. Was it
only
Andy?
if they're in the way? I think, though, isn't it? Really, if they're causing them a problem, then they get rid of them. Yeah.
But
I mean, I've get to it when we get to the second episode, but there's a bit with the cyborg guy which I thought was interesting, and I wondered what was going on there as well. There is a throwaway line that might explain it, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. But yeah, we already touched on the leeches or ticks on the two guys. I thought that scene was a bit clunky. I thought it was surprising that, considering they knew there was a load of like really dangerous creatures in there, or lab experiments, as they put it, that they were quite so easy to let him cuff them to then post. I think I would have tried to fight. I wouldn't have wanted to be stuck.
Well,
in there,
he had one gun, and there's two of them. You know, I mean, he's only going to be so
I thought
fast.
that was a bit. I thought that was a silly scene. I don't know why.
Yeah.
They didn't
50% is better than 100% chance of dying.
You're better off trying to fight him, right? Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I did find it was interesting. Not only that, the gun that you pointed out, he's only got the handgun in his hand, right? They've got rifles. Now, he has got something on his back, but he's not got it to hand. So they could have easily, like you say, between the two of them, one of them would have got him without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, they've got sidearms as well.
Yeah.
On top of them.
Yeah, and knives, because you see the knives come out as well, you know. And the thing is, he is a cyborg, so he is predominantly human. So, you know, he's still got a weakness, hasn't he? So, but yeah, I mean, that's us pretty much, I think, covered on episode 1. So, and I should add that episode 1 was called Neverland. So there's another Peter Pan reference there. But episode 2, Mr. October, which odd title, because you later on find out in the episode why they called it that, but that whole scene that relates to that, I thought was a bit.
I can't even remember why it's called Mr. October. Oh, I just remember because it's when my birthday is.
Oh, well, we'll get to it, because I had a massive issue with the scene where you find out why it's called that, and it really bugged me. But yeah, I put a xenomorph stalking them is very cool, because you know that bit when they walk along the corridor and you can see it watching them. Interesting conversation where Cavalier says he's not interested in money.
Guys.
Oh, mate. Where Boy Cavalier says he's not interested in money. He just wants smarter people, people who are better than him, so he can talk to them and have interesting conversations. I found that interesting because that's completely different to Wayland, isn't it? That's not how Wayland think at all. So,
yeah, Wayland just wants to live forever.
Yeah.
That's all. That's his only interest, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, and money as well. You know, that's the other thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But I put this does kind of make sense, because by giving him a supercomputer for a brain, he's changing how they think from an early age. Basically, what we talked about a minute ago. Also making them more easy to be manipulated, which you also touched on a minute ago. Right, I'll wait till Scott gets back for this bit, because this bit, there was something I noticed in here, and I was like, "Oh, mate, really?" Like, you know. So I'll set up the scene until he gets back.
Right.
So the part where Joe is standing there, he's about to jump across, following his two colleagues, right? And you get the drawl in his shoulder, and we all know what it is. It's the xenomorph, right?
Yeah.
And the face appears. Now he's got a gun in his hand, right? He's pointing right at it. Why don't he shoot? You know,
mate, I've asked myself this so many times in so many
plot
different
armor,
movies.
That's why, isn't it? It's plot
As
armor.
an ex-soldier, I'd be like that. Yeah, shoot.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, right, with that scene and a familiar theme throughout that episode.
No one shoots.
You've got a lot of Marines with lots of guns, and no one's shooting the alien.
Yeah. And also, certain individuals, the alien don't jump on him; he jumps behind them, like with that Joe character. When it comes out of the hole, it doesn't jump on him; it jumps behind him. Why? Why didn't he just pounce straight on him?
For the scene, the impact of the scene.
Yeah, plot armor. That's what it is. We can't kill him yet, so you know. But it notices bad. Though. That's the problem, right? What would have been better is if only one of them had a jump to cross, then the xenomorph does that, and it jumps on the guy next to him before he jumps. That would have made more sense to the plot armor, because then it's taking out someone else. That's why it didn't jump on him. See what I'm saying? If they had done it that way, where there's two of them there, and it jumped on the other guy, that would have made sense. I just didn't understand why they did it the way they did, if I'm honest. So, yeah. Flashback scene with the automated robot scene and Wendy taking control of it. And I'm guessing that's foreshadowing for something that's later to come. Yeah, they showed that for a reason, didn't they? Like, she takes control of the robot. They're all confused as to how she's done it because she shouldn't be able to do it. And it's like, right, so that's going to come in later, isn't it? What's she going to take control of at some point? She's clearly going to do something with that power, isn't she?
that's building.
Definitely,
That's building it.
definitely adds to the argument that she's a little bit more special than the rest as well.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, Boy Cavalier makes a throwaway line at one point in this episode where he says, for someone who's not human, she sure looked human there to me.
Mm-hmm.
When she found out about her brother, like the look on her face, like he pointed out, she looked human to me. Like she was showing emotion.
Yeah.
So,
which I think surprised him as well, because
he
still sees her as a really advanced computer.
Yeah.
And it's that lady, I can't remember her name, that's trying to tell him that there is a human conscious in there.
But
to him, it's just a supercomputer.
I don't even notice there's a few scenes in this. They're only subtle, but there's a few scenes where he's quite impressed with her, right? The conversation he has with her before she gets switched. If you notice, she starts doing the same thing with the other kids.
Yeah.
And he's standing there smiling. He's impressed because he's like, wow, like, you know what he's thinking. He's thinking she cares. Like,
she sees him as a role model. And I think his ego really liked that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think there's going to be a lot more to this sort of story. Like you say, she is different. And, yeah, he definitely knows she's special. That much is obvious. Now, here's something for you. What do you think that buzzing hearing is that she keeps getting? Because I think she's hearing the xenomorph.
That's what I think as well, yeah.
I found that interesting.
Yeah, there's definitely some sort of link there, isn't there? There's something...
I think she's hearing that xenomorph communicate.
Well, she seems to have it whenever it's on the attack sort of thing or coming towards them, I've noticed. Like, when she picks up on it, it's normally when they're in a threatening position sort of thing.
Which made me wonder if there's more than one xenomorph on there. And maybe when we're seeing it's not just one.
Well, there are a couple of facehuggers, I think. I'm sure we see more than one, don't we? So
I'm thinking there's more than one xenomorph, and they're talking
and they're communicating. Yeah,
they're communicating.
Well, can you remember when she first sees that the ship is hit on the planet? She's doing a hearing test there, and one of the guys actually says she's now hearing beyond human
above
range.
the human range. Yeah.
So that's
So is it just her that's got that then? It must be. I'm guessing the others don't have that. Because she keeps saying to them, can you hear that? And they're like, hear what? So they can't hear it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's interesting, isn't it? Be interested to see where that goes.
Be interesting if she can communicate, if she can learn, the language or something like that and kind of interpret it. If she's a supercomputer, then...
Yeah, but I don't know. Would that be a bit sort of... I don't know. That might be...
I think what they're trying to imply as well...
Talk to it by the end.
Is if the aliens are communicating with... If the xenomorphs are communicating with each other, then that shows even more intelligence. Because we've always questioned the intelligence of the xenomorph.
They're just animals,
they are
man.
smart. They are smart, without a doubt. Yeah.
It's never really been answered, has it? But perhaps this is going to show another level. And I definitely believe there's, like when you said about the plant in that doorway, maybe that's going to be a cliffhanger of an episode that's going to eat that xenomorph.
Yeah.
But then we're going to find out that isn't the only xenomorph. There's another one. Because I definitely think that what them clicking and that noise she's hearing was the xenomorphs talking to each other.
Could be. I mean, the other thing is don't forget, I mean, obviously her brother Joe breaks the field where the eggs are and you see one of the eggs start twitching.
Yes.
So at some point you're going to end up with facehuggers running around at some point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you know
What's
what?
the track with that field? Like, why? What is all that about? Like, obviously I know they have it on the alien ship, but like, why have they got it on?
I think it's a stasis field because when you read the original Alien book, I'm sure it says it's a stasis field. So they're dormant until something breaks the field.
It's something
so
that
it gets
breaks
within a
it that makes
certain.
the
and
egg
then it
open.
wakes them up. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because you notice in Alien, the eggs, the facehugger only starts moving in the egg when someone comes near it.
Yeah.
You know, so
Like I understood it like from the alien perspective, but I was just surprised to see it on like a human ship. Do you know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, I wonder why they've
well,
done that.
this is another thing, isn't it? Because now it's like, well, so did they know about LV426 then? They must have done. Because that's the same sort of technology they're using,
I
right?
don't think they've got the xenomorph from there.
Maybe not.
No.
Maybe
I
not.
think that's going to be from
But
somewhere else.
there's no other. It's an uninhabited planet, as they say on Aliens. So
Yeah.
it's got to be a different planet to get all the
Yeah.
other species that they've got.
Well, one thing's for sure, like Chef said, he's put the dates up. There's no way it's anything to do with Prometheus or Covenant because the dates don't add up. It's
well
too
after.
far off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Although
definitely
when
not
they
from that.
left, if it's a 65-year mission, I don't know
Well,
what the dates are.
you mean like it could have been 30 something getting there and 30 something getting back. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Like 32 and a half there, 32 and a half
So there
back.
might have
So
been a bit of an
65
inkling.
in total. Could be. Might have been in the area. Yeah, that would
Mhm.
work because
Mhm.
Prometheus is about 30 odd years. So that would work.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't think of it like that. Yeah. So yeah, we already touched on the childlike behaviour of the hybrids. I find it personally a bit annoying, but this is the part where I found it the most annoying during the briefing. I found it really irritating. You know, where they're poking each other and mucking about. You know, it's like, mate, it's a briefing. Like, shut
They
up.
really
Like,
overemphasized it. Yeah.
yeah, too much. Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing. I think they're just trying to keep the audience remembering that they're kids. So they're
Yeah.
having to overcompensate it. They're doing scenes like that.
I think there's a better way of doing it, though, if I'm honest. I think, like, you don't have to have them, like, punching each other and calling each other names. You could do it in a different way that would be a little bit more.
Yeah, but at school,
You know?
if there was a teacher talking, you would jab your mate, wouldn't you? You'd give him a dead arm or do something to try and get him to
You
react.
would, but not quite as childish in the way they do it. Like, I mean, like,
Yeah.
when you was at secondary school, you wouldn't just poke your mate and go, oh, you're stupid. You'd proper jab him and give him a dead arm, wouldn't you? And he'd be like, gutted, mate. Like that. If they'd have done it that way, I think it wouldn't have been quite as annoying. But they come across like they're 5-year-olds rather than like
Aren't they
10,
lot all
11,
about
12.
10, 11, isn't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I just,
isn't Wendy the oldest? Isn't she 12?
she's 12. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Here's another one, though. Another thing I jotted down. When you see the, hang on, before we get to that, Utani reveal and the conversation with Boyd Cavalier, corporations, territory, almost like countries and war. We already sort of touched on that, but yeah, I do find that interesting. I think that could be interesting what happens with that. Because she wants to come in and get it, and he's already made it clear that if she does, it'll be like an act of war. So, yeah, be interesting to see what happens with that.
And I think Paul's theory could be something to do with that. Is
Yeah.
in that, how this all gets covered up is they nuke it or whatever. And this is why the planet is.
Well, there's got to
how
be
they
spies,
show
isn't
it
there?
in Alien. Because I'm sure it's Alien Resurrection, where they touch on the Earth being an absolute.
Yeah, you see it at the end when they're coming down in the ship.
Right.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all destroyed, and they refer to it being a shithole. And
Yeah.
like I said, like this could be why, because if you nuke that city, then that will be why, and it could be various other cities if they manage to get out. So, yeah, it would make perfect sense. Yeah, it would certainly explain that. Because I mean, we know in Aliens they're not really on Earth at that point; they're in the space stations, pretty much, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this could explain it.
Well, if you get a massive alien infestation in that whole city,
Yeah,
then they're going to have to,
see
nuke, aren't they?
yeah.
Well, that was one of my points actually, because I think
Yeah, I think Paul, you're right. I think that is going to be.
I think one of my points is I can't wait to see how a ship crashing into a city containing xenomorphs hasn't even been heard of.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's just going to be one big cover up, isn't it?
Like, surely that would make the news.
Well, the other thing for me, right, I found interesting him. So I would have thought that ship would have done a lot more damage than it did. I mean, not being funny, but that ship coming in at the speed it's doing, right? Just to make it clear, that could almost be a planet end of the size of that ship. Like if we had a meteor come in the same size, it could end all life on Earth.
The speed's different though, I think, because
No,
meters
it's
were like
not.
thousands of miles an hour.
Honestly, it's not. Like experts have been saying about this. They're saying no, this thing would actually cause like an ice age, pretty much. Like,
yeah, but would it be that it was like a controlled crash landing sort of thing?
I don't know. Did it look controlled to you? It didn't to me.
Well, no,
So-
because obviously it's hitting things, but maybe maybe it's
It was slowing
technology
down
that
from
we
4
don't
months
have,
ago.
that we don't understand. Maybe the technology there that we don't understand. We're looking at it from a plane crash or something like that, but perhaps there is things in place to stop it having that devastating impact. Yes, it hit that skyscraper or whatever, but it was more controlled. It didn't like explode, because they do touch on that they're more worried about the fuel cells in the second episode, didn't they? They said that they
because of
need
the
to
radiation.
evacuate the area. They were worried about the fuel cells becoming unstable and blowing. So, that makes us think that, there's a set amount of time that they've got to do whatever they've got to do.
I mean, the other thing that's funny about that, though, is they say about they're worried about the fuel cells, but there was a bit in the first episode where they're saying they're burning too much fuel. So at that point, it's like, well, is there too much fuel or not enough then? Like, hang on.
But it's probably a good thing if they did burn too much, because that means that there wouldn't have been as much
Yeah.
fuel when a crash lands. So maybe that was on purpose.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know, maybe, but I just know that if you had something that big entering the Earth's atmosphere, it would be devastating. Like, honestly.
It would if it had a massive impact into the ground. But
well, yeah, but
it's
not even just the
it's
impact.
like a cross, isn't it?
It's not even just the impact. Just entering the Earth's atmosphere would cause problems just in itself.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Like it would almost burn out the atmosphere, like, because of the size of it. So
maybe they just watch Star Trek. It's happened on Star Trek. So like, we're all right. They've done it on Star Trek.
At the end of the day, it's science fiction. You got to have.
The only thing I'm going to say, they did it in the Star Treks, but them Star Treks that they did it in were crap. So, so I'm just going to add that. It's not necessarily a good thing.
Perhaps a whale is going to save the day in Alien Earth.
Yeah. Well, it's
it would explain the time travel. It would explain the timeline.
It's interesting you say that, though, right? Where it's on Earth, what if these facehuggers get on other animals? Have you thought about that? We could see some pretty interesting.
That would be really cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something to consider, isn't it?
A face hugger getting on an elephant.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Or a whale or something like that, or a shark.
Or something really small, like a scorpion, but then it being like massive, like a mix between a scorpion and a xenomorph.
I don't know. I don't know if it would work with that, because if you remember in the first Alien, it ignores the cat, doesn't it? Because it's too small.
Ah, yeah, no, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
So I don't think it would. I don't think it would
Probably
bother.
big.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just have to put some of that black goo on instead then.
Yeah.
Sprinkle a little bit of black goo on.
But here's something though, right? Talking about like the xenomorphs and that, did you notice they've also got an egg though in one of them containment things, like in the little, where they got them in the little cages? Yeah, there was one in one of them boxes, wasn't there? Do you reckon that's a queen's egg? Because why would you have that separate from the others?
Could be. Why would they even have them other eggs like that?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That did make me wonder. I did think,
because he's meant to be contained and everything, isn't he?
Yeah.
So why are they just like hanging up, like just dumped on the floor? Like,
yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
when I saw that one on its own, I thought that's got to be a queen, right? Surely, why would it be in its own box? Like,
unless someone's placed the eggs there for the landing, or
could be,
maybe.
Yeah,
I reckon the cyborg guy maybe's put them there.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's been up to no good, haven't they? I'm looking forward to finding out.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
We're almost getting to the cyborg guy, so I'm not going to say too much, but I will say now I do like his character. And
Jesus.
Have you noticed that he looks like Parker a lot? Like, really looks like Parker out of
He
Alien.
does, yeah. No, he does look like Parker. Yeah,
like that was one of the things I noticed straight away. I was like, wow, that guy could easily be his son. Like, he looks just like him. Yeah.
Mm.
Interesting character so far. I put eye parasite and cat scene very messed up. And
That
I've
was the
yeah.
best scene in the whole fucking 2 episodes. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was really, really good.
I kind of knew that was coming because I watched something where they were talking about that species, and they were saying that whatever it gets into, it takes control of them and pretends to be their eyeball, like.
Yeah,
That's really
And
cool. Yeah.
so I
I
knew it
just
was going to
thought,
jump
oh,
in
that's
something. I just didn't know it was going to be a cat. I knew it was going to jump in something.
That's why I
So-
really like that alien. When you see that cat, and I thought that cat looks pretty fucked up, and then and then it had that big eye, and I was just like, oh dear. I knew it
Yeah.
was that alien thing, but I think that is brilliant. I can't wait to see that getting a human being. That's going to
Yeah.
be mental.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see if it can control its like mouth and like if it could like taps into the brain and if it can like communicate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of scope there.
Well,
Well,
the
it-
cat
it-
meowed, didn't it? The cat went
No,
meow.
it does tap into the brain. It takes control of the host.
Yeah.
That is one thing it does. Because I don't know if you noticed, the cat had it had back legs, but they weren't really working. So it was just dragging itself, wasn't it? Right. So now we get to the part with the statue. And it was obvious that was going to be the copy of the Brett scene.
Yeah.
I kept looking because I was like, when's it going to appear? Is it there? No. And then
I
it
was
looks again.
exactly the
Is
same.
it there? No.
Yeah.
Is it there? Yeah, it's there. It's there. Like, sort of thing. So, yeah, it was obvious when they walked past it. I knew the minute they walked past it, I was like, it's going to jump on that and it's going to hide there. You knew it. But what did you think of the whole bit that unfolds from that? I mean, obviously, Joe's already been chased by it. So he spots
Well, he
it.
knows what it is. That other Marine didn't know what it was, did he?
No.
That's the first time he see it. So I think that's why he was so fucking scared.
Yeah.
Is because whoa, because
Yeah.
I think Joe kept referring to it as just like an animal, didn't he? He didn't like say what it was.
Well, there's a few times when people refer to it as a bear, wasn't there?
Yeah, the kid androids do, don't they?
And then he referred to it, I think, as an alien species or something. Yeah.
Before he could really sort of explain it, it was on that Marine, and that Marine just was like fucking shitting himself. And
Yeah,
then,
but again, another guy that doesn't fire his weapon. Like,
well,
shoot
you
your bloody
see him
gun,
put
mate.
his you see him put his finger on the trigger, don't you?
Yeah, but just fire. Like, I would have fired.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, that thing is looking to hurt you. It's obvious. Like, just shoot it. Like, I
Yeah.
would have shot it, wouldn't you?
I think it's supposed to
Got
just be disbelief. You know, you got to remember that a lot of this stuff is filmed from a very left-wing point of view.
Hmm.
So, like, it'd be like, oh, we don't know if this might be a defenseless creature. You can't just shoot something defensively like that. Do you get what I mean? That's the kind of mindset.
I think when something creeps up on you like that, I think it's pretty obvious it wants to do you damage. Like,
Well, yeah, you should open fire on it. But, that's the John J. Rambo. That's the 80s mindset. The mindset of now is very different. It's like, oh, hold on, this might be an intelligent life form that wants to communicate with me, not smash my face in.
Yeah. but what comes after that, I think, is funny. Like, I actually did start laughing at that point because obviously they've already knocked on the door, and I did think it was ridiculous that they hadn't even noticed that a massive spaceship's just crashed into their building.
I did think that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was like when he shuts the door, being all cocky, I thought, like, I can't wait for these people to die now. And when they did, that bit where he's dragging himself along and his legs are missing, I thought that was hilarious.
Tetley's just joined. I'm just showing him that I'm drinking old speckled hen.
Yeah.
Cheers, Tetley.
Yeah, I'm on the old cider. But yeah, that bit where he's like dragging himself along without his legs, I thought that was kind of funny. But again, it goes back to where I was saying the xenomorph has now turned into like a slasher villain.
Slasher.
Yeah, he's just killing everybody, and it's like, why? Like,
I think what you touched on earlier, though, it makes more sense now because I thought that. But then when you said that maybe it might be a queen or it's protecting something and it just needs to, control its environment.
Remove the threats.
That's why it's going into that mode and just killing everything.
But I mean, again, again, with that scene, what I liked is the bit where he's looking at all the dead people and the guy crawling, and you see it run across the landing behind him, and I thought that was pretty good. And I thought, that's cool. Like these little bits in the background are very well done.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Why doesn't it attack him?
Well, why doesn't it? He's
like
under the dead guy, isn't he? So it doesn't know
Oh,
he's
yeah.
there at first. But then when it does,
That's
it
right.
jumps through the glass. And this is, again, another classic example. Why didn't you bloody shoot? It's jumped off the balcony at you. You got a prime opportunity to shoot it, and you cower like a little bitch. Like, what is that? Like, why didn't you shoot it?
He is. Yeah, but I think his character is a little bitch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They couldn't
That's
find
why he didn't shoot. And
they couldn't have found a more effeminate man, could they? Really?
When I said earlier that the overall acting, I think everyone's really solid. I really like all the actors in it, apart from him. I think he's utter garbage. He doesn't deliver his lines with any conviction, and he is. I've never seen him in anything else before, but I think he is letting the show down.
He was in Imitation Game, and he wasn't too bad in that. You know that one about the Alan Turing? He was in that.
Oh yeah,
he weren't too bad. He weren't too bad in that, actually. Surprisingly,
I just thought he was really bad. I don't know if it's because that's.
I agree. I do agree with
you. But I just feel like he's not. He's just not convincing me.
Well, definitely doesn't convince you as a field medic at all.
Not at all. No,
he's so scrawny. It's like, mate, you wouldn't last 5 seconds in a war situation at all. Like,
and
come on.
More, and I think that he acts more like a fucking child than the children do in the fucking androids. I just thought he was. I thought he was a pathetic character, and I'm not sure whether it's his character or whether it's the actor. I'm thinking it's more the actor. I don't know. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're probably right.
I'm hoping he's dead and he gets impregnated, and we see his chest burst right open in a later episode. And I'll be happy.
I doubt it. I don't think we'd be that lucky, but mind you, he's a man.
Disney,
he's a man, so he might do.
Day.
He's a man, so Disney, he might do. He might die. They like women to survive and men to die, so
let's hope he gets the eyeball.
Maybe
this might be the significance in what sends Wendy to her next stage of seeing her brother having this alien just burst from his chest.
Yeah.
And especially when she finds out that the boy genius is the reason why the ship landed there.
Exactly.
That'll annoy you.
Oh, see, look, we've written this already.
But before we get that far, let's talk about the cyborg guy, because obviously it's just about to have Joe in it, and cyborg guy comes in and he tasers it, and it's like, wow, Colonial Marines could have done with him in Aliens, couldn't they? I mean, look how effective it was. Look how quick it drops him.
He definitely
has had that technology 50 years later.
Yeah, if only. He
has a lot more knowledge on the xenomorph, doesn't he? He knew that electric weapon was going to
work. Yeah,
he did not seem phased at all.
No,
obviously, we don't know what happens when they've got the specimens and why things have run amok, on the ship. But he does seem to be a lot calmer under the.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that. He does actually say why he's a lot calmer. It's a throwaway line where he says they sense fear.
Yeah, well, I mean, how does he know that?
I don't know, but that's why he's calmer.
He is very clued up on the xenomorph.
Because that might explain the scene that's coming in a bit. Because obviously he cocoons it, and then I find it funny the way he just grabs its tail and just pulls it out of the room like it's nothing. Obviously he tasers the boy as well, doesn't he? Like Joe. But
going back to that weapon that cocoons it, I thought that was a bit unbelievable because he sprays over the top of it.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't he get underneath it, did he? And then it's in a perfect sack that he can just drag off.
Yeah, and I mean, I suppose you're not meant to overthink it too much, but it's his way of trying to get it out without anybody seeing it, isn't it? But yeah, so my thoughts there was, well, Marines could have done with them weapons, but we'll jump ahead a little bit and then come back because it's relevant to this.
Also, something else that might come in handy, if you're these people like trying to rescue people, etc. Motion trackers.
Yeah.
could be handy for them.
Yeah. Also, send more than a few guys into a massive building. That's the other thing
Yeah.
I'd say. Like, why did they only send a handful of people? You got a massive building with possibly thousands of people in, and you only send about what
One
7
medic.
or 8 people in. Like, stupid, isn't it? But yeah, the more
Unless
you
it's
think
just their
about
story
it,
that we're following, but I don't know.
the more you think
I
about it, the
agree.
more it falls apart, isn't it? But yeah. So before we get to the bit that's also with the cyborg, but download scene on the Maginot with Kerr shows he's an android, very different to the Lost Boys, programmed, not downloaded consciousness like the hybrids. I do like the fact that he's different because he approaches things from a different angle to them, don't he?
Yeah.
I like that because it's like cold and calculated with him, isn't it? Like we've seen with androids in the past, he's a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're doing because of this.
Well, he's more like Bishop, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've got a feeling he's going to be more like Ash. I've got to be honest, because
yeah,
he clearly knows what he's there for. He knows. You can see that he definitely knows what's in there, but he's not telling them. So we've got another Ash here, haven't we? So right now here's the part I was on about with Moro, the cyborg guy. I initially put, why did the xenomorph leave cyborg Moro alive? But of course, he does say to the guys, trust me, I'm the least of your worries. They sense fear. And then, of course, it chops the guys up that are trying to arrest him. And then it leaves him.
Yeah, I know. There's definitely going to be a reason why.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't. It was going to attack him, but then it doesn't. What happens?
Right,
Something distracts it, doesn't it?
No, it's because he said earlier on about it sensing fear, right? You're meant to think at that point he's controlling his fear, and that's why it leaves him. But I would argue he looked more nervous there than he did in the impact room when it was trying to smash its way in.
But also, a line from earlier in the film is that imagine that he thinks he's human. He's programmed to think he's human. What about if he's not? And that's why he doesn't feel fear, because she doesn't feel emotions at the beginning. What about if he's been programmed for him to believe that he's human, that he is a cyborg, and he's actually not?
Yeah, but you see him. He gets his cyborg blade out, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes to attack, but something distracts that alien. I can't remember what it is, but something definitely distracts it, which is what saves him. I think it was going to kill him, but something happens.
I'm not convinced it was.
I'm sure.
I was more convinced it was going to kill him when he was in the impact room.
But exactly. It was going to kill him then, wasn't it?
Well, how about this, right? The throwaway line before that, he explains they sense fear, right? He does say that to the guys. Whatever you do, don't show any fear, right? And obviously they do. It chops them apart, right? But how about this? What if they're trying to make out that they sense fear, but that's not the reason it leaves him, right? Because he still looks to me nervous as hell, right? Yeah. What if? Because we've seen this happen before in Alien 3, haven't we? And if you remember, it leaves the person because they're carrying a queen. Let's not forget, he is a cyborg. What if he's impregnated with a queen and that's why it's not attacking him?
Could be. No, that could be right.
That's what I was thinking. Because straight away when I saw that scene, I thought, wow, that's very Alien 3, that.
And here's a question. So if he's a cyborg and obviously it mixes xenomorph with whatever the host is.
Yeah.
How does that work out with a cyborg? Like what? That could be
well, I mean, the thing is though, although he's a cyborg, the only part on him that seems to be an implant is his arm, isn't it? The rest of him still looks human.
So far, yeah.
So I can't imagine it would really take any traits from that.
Can you imagine though?
It's not genetic, is it? It's mechanical. So
I'm now trying to find that scene.
Yeah, so it is the bit. This is why it's called Mr. October. It's all to do with him watching the baseball game with that baseball, right?
Yeah.
And this is what
I thought that was very random, by the way.
It's stupid as well. You've just been chased by a massive 8-foot fucking alien, and you want to stand there with a door open behind you, not even looking, watching a baseball game. Yeah, because of course that's what everybody does when they're being chased by something that wants to kill them. I just thought that was ridiculous. It was, he's like, oh, well, this is what my dad watched. Like, we used to watch this together. Yeah, don't care, mate. You got Xenomorph chasing you. What are you doing?
Again, but the timeline thing as well. Like, how was he watching the baseball game from the 1970s? Like, why?
Well, I think
And
how
He
is
does
that ball
explain later on that it was
in
a
there?
rerun. He used to watch the reruns.
But still, the chances of that ball just happened to be there.
Yeah.
That guy got from a rerun of a match that he watched like 20 years ago. I was just like, that just seemed really just random.
Yeah. I've just noticed that Chef even asked when we was talking about it, why does it leave him? Yeah. Yeah. How many episodes are there in this series? There are going to be 8, but there's only 2 out so far. And the rest are going to drop on a weekly basis.
Wednesday, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, now this is a bit I think could have been done better. The sister reveal. I thought that was really clunky, out of place, humour didn't fit, and I think they could have had a really heartfelt moment there, and I think they screwed the pooch. What do you think?
I thought it was really good because it's children again.
Yeah, I didn't like
Kids
it.
can't keep secrets.
That's true. That is true.
I think that other one was busting because she weren't saying nothing. He just had to tell him.
I just think if they had left it till later on in the series, it would have had more emotional weight behind it.
Maybe.
I just thought it was too quick.
Maybe he doesn't last that long.
Maybe. That's true. Could be that.
I'm hoping that brother is fucking gone for.
I'll be honest.
Until the end.
I want most of the hybrids to get slaughtered. They're annoying.
They will do. I think a lot of them are going to get killed off, to be fair.
Obviously, we already touched on the energy field being like Alien. So, yeah. What I did appreciate is the cliffhanger at the end. I thought that was really well done.
Yes.
A series that remembers what cliffhangers are to reel you back in for the next episode. I thought that was really well done. It's the first time I've seen that in a series for a long time. But although I like the rock music, I don't think it really suits at the end of Alien episodes.
Well, the thing is I absolutely love Tool, and I thought that was an excellent song.
It's a good song.
There was other songs
like it on that.
Yeah, there was other songs that were dropped that I didn't like so much.
End of the first episode was a different song, wasn't it?
Yeah. And there was also some music dropped randomly throughout the episodes. What I thought, that don't really fit.
Like in an action scene when it just came in. I was like, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of it didn't.
I don't know. I just didn't like it on the end credits. Like, I like the music. I just don't like it in Alien. I don't know. Just for me, it kind of took me out of it a bit. I don't know. I did think, don't get me wrong. I suppose, they, like you've been saying all night, Scott, they got to do something different. And
I think
certainly is different.
I think a lot of it is he's very conscious that he's got, because it's a TV show as well.
Yeah.
They're going to take a very different angle with it. And they've also, I'm very mindful that they're putting in lots and lots of different things. And I'm hoping that with it being a TV series over episodes and time, all of these loose ends, all of these questions we've got, and everything that's being left out there at the minute is going to get answered.
Yeah, we've got another 6 hours, haven't we? We've got another 6 hours to go.
I hope so, but obviously, in the past, Disney's not had a great track record of that. So I'm hoping that they do. I really am. Because, don't get me wrong. They haven't wrecked this franchise with Romulus, but Romulus wasn't, in my opinion, that great. And
I think what they achieved with Romulus, which was really needed, was to give the young generation a reason to like the Alien franchise. We had Alien and we had Aliens.
Yeah.
And then we've had 20 years of it having very mediocre and films that didn't do very well. And I think Romulus, whether you like it or you don't, it was significant. It done pretty well in the box office. It's got a lot of people talking about Alien again. And I do think a lot of youngsters really enjoyed that film.
Well, I mean, as we've got a bit of time still left, I mean, we could go into Romulus a bit, but I mean, my biggest problem with Romulus, and I'll be honest, I watched it the first time and I didn't like it at all, especially the ending. I hate the ending.
Well, I said that today. Honestly, I had 20 minutes left on the film, and I was like, it's not actually as bad as what I thought the first time. And, some bits
it's
I
so bad.
enjoyed. But then I had 20 minutes to watch today, and I was just, I don't know. I just don't like that hybrid sort of.
Well, it's another
thing.
classic
It's just-
example where the alien, for some reason now, or the xenomorph, for some reason now, isn't scary enough.
Isn't good enough.
Let's drop
yeah.
something else in, like, and it's like you did that before in Alien Resurrection, and nobody liked it then with the what was it called, the
Ripley
newborn
sort of thing. Or
the newborn,
Mm.
wasn't it? It's like nobody liked that in that, and you decide to do something very similar at the end of Romulus. I hated that.
I think what he was trying, the director was trying to achieve there was to tie in the black goo with the what are they called?
Yeah, the engineers.
The engineers. I think
Yeah.
because that creature was more of an engineer type looking thing.
Well, it's engineer and xenomorph, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was very deliberate, I think. I think he wanted to tie that into it.
Yeah.
I don't think it worked as well. I do think the problem is with all of these modern alien films is they all end very poor.
Well, the other thing is that with that they tried to be too much like Alien and Aliens. Like, for example, you got like Get Away From Her, You Bitch, only it sounds
Countdown.
really crap.
Yeah,
The Countdown, the bit where she comes out the lift with all the steam blowing behind her, just like Ripley and Aliens, and it's
See,
like,
I like that scene.
I
If they had just done little bits like that, the whole Get Away From Her bitch bit, I must admit, that was awful.
All I thought every time I saw a scene like that was done better in another film. That's all I kept thinking the whole time.
Yeah.
What I noticed is when I was watching the film today, that Andy, a lot of times when they're like being derogatory towards him, they call him a bitch.
Yeah.
And you just see that pause where he goes, "Get away from her," and then it's like,
yeah,
thinking of it, and it gets used on him.
Yeah.
So he then uses it. And I was like, they've tried to plant the seed a little bit earlier so that it's not. I can see what they're trying to do, but they just shouldn't have bothered.
Do you know my
Personally.
biggest problem with Romulus, right? Is that with every single Alien film, right? You like the characters, you're invested. You don't want people to die, right? My problem with Romulus is I want everybody to die right at the start because they're all dickheads. They're all dickheads. Like, honestly, that is his name Bjorn, the brother, or
it's like a bit like a teen slasher sort of thing, isn't it? Where you've got the characters there, and it's like, oh man, I can't wait for him to die.
The whole time I'm sitting there like, please kill him, hurry up, kill him now, kill him. Like, yeah, honestly, and I think that's one of the problems. Like, because I end up I'm not rooting for any of them. I just want them all to die. The only one I feel sorry for is Andy, and he's not even human.
I think the problem is with Alien Romulus is it all moves too quick.
Yes, way too quick. TikTok generation,
where one of them gets impregnated to it bursting out of her.
That's way too fast.
It's all way too fast, and it's ridiculous. I don't understand the pace in there, and I think even though I liked parts of Romulus in like there was more face hugger scenes and stuff like that, they weren't.
The bit where they're getting chased off loads of them, I thought that was I enjoyed that
great.
bit.
But then I didn't like the fact that they were swinging like baseball bats at them and fucking twatting them away, and made them seem a little bit less
shit.
You think that's bad? What about the bit with the room? And he says, "Oh, if they sense temperature."
Oh, that was just awful. That was
so they put the temperature up in the room, and then they open the door. What happens when you open the door if you just put the temperature up? All the temperature that you just put in there comes out. So that wouldn't have worked.
I'm telling my kids to close the door, keep the heat in. Do you think they know this
exactly?
Now, right?
It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked.
I would say that was the worst scene in the film. That was
really dumb. Really dumb.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the bit where that Bjorn like sticks the bloody cattle prod in the cocoon. So I was like, "Oh, you're gonna die. You're so gonna die." And then he did, and it was great. Like, so yeah.
I know a lot of people didn't like the scene with the gravity and the like acid blood.
Well, it's dumb.
It's dumb, but I actually really like that scene. I don't know why, but
But the thing is, he
Which one?
says
Which bit was that?
at
in
the
Alien
end,
Romulus, when they turn the gravity off and they're shooting the aliens and they're having to like dive
Oh, yeah.
between the acid. I actually really like that scene.
I like
Oh.
the death scene where the acid was like dripping through his body and just
Yeah.
slowly burning him away and killing him.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty cool.
oh, you're on about
way
the
to die.
Bjorn guy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that I enjoyed that. But I
But
mean, I thought it was a good way. I thought it was visually good.
the bit
Well,
with
yeah,
the
from a
gravity,
cinema point of view, from a cinematography point of view, that
Mm.
was a great scene.
the bit with the gravity off. The reason I thought that was dumb, right, is because number one, you've got to try and get through that, and that's impossible. Number two, you've already been told don't shoot them unless you have to, because it could eat through the bulkheads, and
Yeah.
you know we end up getting vented into space. And what does she shoot? She makes them all float, shoots the crap out of them, and now you've got floating acid everywhere. Like, I mean,
And the alien, it actually saves her.
yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, it
Yeah.
catches her. Yeah.
Oh, that was a
But-
bit bizarre. But there you
But
go.
you do kind of find out why, because there's a facehugger on the side. It's caught
Yeah.
her so the facehugger can get her. So-
Yeah.
Which again proves that they grab people, don't just kill them, like what we're seeing in Alien Earth. See?
Yeah.
Proof there. So
Well, in Alien Earth, it's grabbed the brother, hasn't it?
yeah.
So, you know, is she going to go and rescue her brother and he's going to have a freaking alien inside him? I hope so. I know I keep
Yeah.
harping on about it.
Yeah.
Just, I've got a couple of, just in case we don't get back to Alien Earth, but I've got a couple of questions, like,
Yeah.
of the points that I've made. The first one is, what are they doing when the guy in the suit is freezing the corridors?
I
What
wondered
is
that.
that?
I don't know either.
What is
I
that?
wondered that. Yeah, it doesn't get
Right.
explained, does it?
No, I'm not yet. I'm like, they're on like a tropical island, apparently.
Yeah.
So what, like, I don't know, it just seems really weird that like the freezing like certain parts of the corridors. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
see,
did wonder that.
I
It is
just
weird.
I
thought
just
that
can't
was
think
where they were
of-
trying to control the temperature of the ship. That I might
No,
have
no,
got
this
wrong.
this is in the
it's on
building.
Earth.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is
It's
in the
on,
building.
on that
Prodigy building.
Yeah, like on that island.
Right.
It's on the island where they are.
I can
Yeah.
remember
Keep
him
walk-
doing it, spraying
Yeah.
the water or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a couple of
it's-
times you see it where they're walking down the corridor, and I'm like,
Well, every
why?
time they go down the corridor, he's there doing it, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very weird, yeah.
I just wondered if you had any idea, because for me, mine's blank.
I just presumed that was to like try and control to stop that ship blowing up, or it was like trying to stop the building going on fire or something. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's a different building, that's the thing.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
is
completely
it?
different
Is it
part of the
a
world.
different
Yeah,
building?
yeah,
There
it's
you
on the
go. I
island.
thought it was the same fucking
No,
building.
it's the building on the complex on the island where the
On the
Simpsons
island in the
made.
middle of nowhere.
It's there, yeah.
Ah, right. Okay.
So I was just like, unless they're not really there and they're like I don't know, it's like a false environment or something. The underground, I don't know, really.
The only thing I
possibly.
thought was maybe where he's so rich, this guy's controlling the temperature of the building by spraying it with shit. You know, or maybe like where it's an island, plants are growing through the walls and he's killing them with it.
Well, surely that's
know,
going to
maybe,
be fucking
but-
explained. Surely that will be explained.
Maybe
Why
because there's
shall
I really hope so. Otherwise, I would be
Maybe-
pissed off.
maybe because they're simps, you have to keep the building cold or something. I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with that.
See, I just presumed that was in the building that the ship had hit.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
See, look, there you go.
But no.
This is where it flashes from one thing to another. That I just
Yeah.
presumed that's what that was.
Yeah.
Because I remember it.
Next point was on a lot of on a few of the teasers, there was a certain noise that was heard in the background a few times. Do you think at some point we're going to get to see a predator?
I knew you was going to say that. Well, it's possible because don't forget they've grabbed a load of dangerous species, and let's be honest,
I mean,
predators
what
one of the
about the
most
planet
dangerous.
they've been to is the one where the predators are? Because that looks quite
Yeah. Yeah.
The Yautja is easily probably one of the most dangerous, right? So there's a good chance we're going to see one. Yeah.
I hope so.
It might even be
That
that
would
he
really bring
turns
it.
up. He turns up to wipe them out because they obviously like hunting on Earth. Could be that, couldn't
Maybe
it?
because we do know that they carry a nuclear device.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the nuclear device that obliterates everything so that nobody ever finds
Well,
out what.
the director did already say that they are going to be in the same universe, and there are plans at some point, to bring Predator in. So there has been discussions about this. So yeah, it might be that he does appear in this. You never know.
Mm.
So, but go on. What other points you got, Paul?
Oh, that was it.
I was at it
Them two. I
because
think anyway. Da, 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 da. I like the iris effects, like when they keep the samples in. I thought that was a good nod to the original. Like the airlocks in Alien,
Yeah.
they've got the same sort of thing, and
well,
I
Romulus
thought
did
that
that
was
as well, didn't they?
that's right.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really good. Yeah, gutted that the cat died because obviously I'm a cat person. I love Jonesy, and it was a ginger one. Wouldn't have been bothered if it wasn't ginger. But yeah, that was the freezing of the walls, and do you reckon a predator at some point's gonna rock up and save our asses rather than killing us for a change?
Well, the other thing is, let's not forget this is going to go for 3 seasons.
Oh, really?
Is
Yeah,
it definitely got 3 seasons?
They
Is it?
greenlit 2 more seasons.
Oh wow!
I'm sure that's what I read somewhere. Let me just double check, but I'm sure that's what I read, that they'd greenlit another 2 seasons.
Well, I mean, while we're on about crossovers, do you think we'll get to see anything like any more interaction with like the Blade Runner kind of world? Because
I think we might as
obviously
well.
because
Yeah.
that is meant to be in the same universe as well, especially with the different corporations.
Yeah, but that's the problem though, right? Like I said, there's a map, right, online of all the different corporations and what territories they hold. And
Yeah.
Tyrell's not on there. I was surprised at that. I thought
Mm.
they'd be on there, but they're not.
Oh, Shep has just told us what the spraying guy is doing.
Oh,
The
go for
guy
it.
spraying is trying to stop mold.
There you go. I
due
said
to the climate
plants.
change.
I said plants. He
Oh.
said molds. Yeah, see?
Ah,
Yeah, because they are on an island. You'd expect that stuff to grow through a building, right? So I
it's
went far off. I thought plants. So yeah, molds.
I
It
was
makes
hoping it
sense.
was going to be something a little bit more like sinister than that.
yeah, it's a bit disappointing, really.
Yeah, it's just anti-mold.
Stop
he's
a
just
bit of
doing some cleaning.
mildew.
bit of housework. Man's work's never done.
Yeah, I can't find it now, but I did hear somewhere that they were planning on doing 3 seasons, and I'm sure they got green lit. I'm sure they did.
I'm sure it
But
will do. I think this is going to be really successful for Disney.
well,
I
this
know
is the
cricket-
thing. You might find the Xenomorphs turn up in a later season, right? So
Well, yeah.
Hmm.
There's massive scope for this.
Predators, I mean, sorry. Yeah.
I do think this is going to be a very successful TV series. I think it's really good. Even though we've been quite negative in places, I think this has still got bags of potential. And
Yeah, it's not all bad.
At least there's characters in here that I kind of already are liking and want to see more of. Like you've touched on, Lee, about the cyborg guy. You like him.
I like Kirsch as well. I like all the
Yeah.
bad guys. So
But you've got to have that, haven't you? Especially in a TV series, you've got to have characters that you know,
good villains. Yeah.
and you get fond of, and you think, yeah, I want to see this character progress. I actually like the actress that plays Wendy. I think she's really good.
Yeah, she's not too bad. The only thing that bugs me a bit is it's like, can we please just have a male lead in an Alien film or series? Like, I know, like it's
Actually,
always
that'd be actually really unique, wouldn't it?
yeah, it would because
Good
now
level.
Predator's now a female-led franchise, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like, could we not just have a male in Predator then? Like, is it too much to ask to just have a male for once?
Yeah.
Like, it does kind of piss me off. Like, everything's got to be female these days, isn't it?
My God. The cat scene has just happened on my TV, guys. I've just seen it again. That is a really good scene. The cat scene. That is good.
See, what I just said there goes back to what we were saying about Joe being a little bitch. Now you know why he's a little bitch, because, you don't want him outshining the female, right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
But they always choose that type of character, don't they? I can see your frustrations there.
Yeah, but these days, though, in the past, they did it because it was Alien and that's what they did. But nowadays, you kind of think, well, that's not why you're doing it now, though, because you've now made Predator a female franchise as well. So, now it's because of these agendas. It's not because that's what they want to do. I just would like to see a change. If you're going to make Predator a female franchise now, make Alien a male one. Give us something.
It's going to be
Or-
gender neutral next month.
Or why not have? Why
We've
not
already got
have?
that kind of.
Why not have both? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Why do you have to have one or the other? Why can't you have?
Well, if
a
you
really
notice,
good-
you got a leading male as well, like a co-lead, if you like. But he's a little bitch. A good, strong male lead would have been good, like an Apo, for example.
The cyborg, mate. The cyborg guy
Kirsch
is.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah, but he's bad though, isn't he? He's a bad guy.
The only thing I would say,
like bad guys.
Yeah, me too. The only thing I'd say with Kirsch though is he's criminally underused. I think in this so far, I would like to see much more of him.
I think we will do
because the actor who plays him is a great actor.
I think when we get to find out what happened on the ship and getting the specimens, I think he's gonna. Whether he is bad or good.
We haven't mentioned Adrian Edmondson being in this.
Oh yes, the he's kind of butlery guy, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
I did find
great to see Bottom.
What was he? Was he in Bottom or something? Or
yeah, it's Adrian Edmondson. It's bloody Vivian out of the young ones.
He has played serious roles before. He has played serious roles before.
Yeah,
I've seen him in
has.
things before.
He's actually a really good actor.
He plays a pretty good psycho as well, believe it or not. So, but yeah, he's interesting because it looks like even he doesn't know everything that Boy Cavalier's up to. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, he was very shocked that he was going to send them in. He was like
yeah,
really?
Yeah. And then, of course, then he reveals it after talking to Yutani. I want what's on that ship. And it's like, yeah, you wanted what was on that ship all along. Don't try and make out this is a new thing. So.
Yeah, I'm convinced it's a bit of an insider job, like.
Yeah.
You know what the corporations are like. They're always underhand.
I mean, the thing that made me laugh.
Each other.
The thing that made me laugh is when they're saying, like, well, we don't break, we're fast, we're super strong. And then obviously the guy from Bottom then says, I said, but they're very expensive. And he's like, so don't let them get broken then. Like, it's the way he says it. So don't let them get broken then. Kirsch, you go with them, like, sort of thing. So you can take orders, right? Like, sort of thing. He's obviously, he obviously doesn't care from that point of view at all, does he? Yeah. He definitely wants us on the ship. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, this is it, isn't it? There's no shortage of kids in that, I suppose.
I mean,
that are dying.
If he has set up that whole incident so that it lands on his territory, then is it a coincidence that he's now got like 6 or 8 super soldiers who are easily influenced and will do what he asks?
Yeah.
And he'll take orders?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I wrote that in my notes, that kids are easily influenced. And I definitely think that's part of the reason he sent them in there. Because you can
even the whole
them,
brother being there and she's been allowed to keep being able to watch him. So there's been no clean break. And then he happens to be there.
Yeah.
It's a great way for him to he doesn't even have to persuade her to go. He just has to use her to persuade the others to go, which they're going to do anyway because she's already persuaded them to give up their bodies. Do you know what I mean? To die. You know what I mean? Yeah. I haven't seen the episode. I haven't seen the trailer for episode 3.
No, I haven't yet.
Is there any way you can share it on Early, like play it or anything, like a YouTube video or? It would be interesting to see if we could watch it and then it'd be like, oh wow, okay.
To be honest, I'd probably get copyright even if I could. And they've changed this so much now, I wouldn't even attempt it at this point. Because if I can't put an intro
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it after we finish. Then,
if I now can't put an intro up without paying, they probably won't let me share anything on here now. So that has really pissed me off, though. I've got to be honest. Like now, I've got to pay 30 quid if I want to put an intro on. Like, what a joke! Yeah,
that's bad.
Well, guys, we've been talking 2 hours. Obviously, we did say we was going to do Romulus, but I mean, we've lightly touched on it. But I'm thinking maybe we need to do a Romulus stream or something at some point. What do you think?
I
We
think
can keep talking about that. We could probably do another stream the further we get into this Alien Earth series, and we can always touch on Romulus.
Yeah,
I was going to say, why don't we, after the next 2 episodes, do this again?
yeah, could do. Yeah, it makes sounds like a plan. Makes sense. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, I would say normally, like, I'm going to put the outro up, but obviously that's not going to be the case because I can't do that now because Streamlab arseholes. So, anything you got coming up, Scott, on your channel?
I'm hoping to do a channel update real soon. I've got so many pickups. It's been about 3 months since I've done any pickups or a channel update. So, and I've got lots to share, lots of changes, lots of new things. So I've definitely got to do one really soon. Hoping to do that within the next week, really, if I can.
Yeah, I'm very light on pickups, but I do have some because I haven't bought anything obviously since the dog had to go in at the vet. So I bought a couple of things, but that's it. But I had some stuff before that, so yeah, I need to do a pickups video at some point. Paul, what about you? Because obviously you haven't done anything on your channel for a
Me?
while, I don't think. Yeah. any plans to
Maybe
come
over a
back to
year.
YouTube?
I think one day, once like my business gets more established, and like pretty much all my spare time goes into trying to find work, and even when I finish doing the actual work, when I come back, I'm doing invoices, um, advertising, like emailing, like letting agencies, and do you know what I mean? And like, I
Yeah.
hope I get to a point where, like, rather than me going looking for the work, it kind of starts coming to me, and then that means I'll be able to have a bit more time for the hobby. But I got a second arcade machine which I'm buzzing about. Like, so
That's
I'll
what
have
you
like
should do a video on, Paul, is them
vertical
arcade
and a
machines.
Yeah.
horizontal. Yeah, and obviously, I don't know about you, Scott. Like, if you've managed to get the Pi working properly yet, but like I haven't got mine working properly yet. So
Well, I've had the pain of trying to source a PC. So I've got a laptop that I'm borrowing off someone, and I need to contact Paul, so then I can get the Pi all set up in my Blast City. So that is good, something that I need to do over the next couple of days. Definitely.
but I mean, as I said before, hopefully I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks' time anyway, so I can bring my laptop down. I've actually got his um memory stick with everything on. Like,
All
I haven't
right.
sent it back to me. I've still got it here, so we can maybe do that. I'll speak to you later about it anyway.
Yeah. No, cool.
Well,
So
actually, go on.
yeah,
Sorry.
but I was just going to say, like, when it comes to content and stuff like that, like, no plans just yet. Like, I'm actually starting to watch a bit more YouTube now, and like watch a few of the channels that I used to before. So it is coming back, but it's just I just really haven't got time.
Well, funny enough, I mean, there's something I didn't mention, but at some point I think I'm going to have to address it on my channel. But I'm still going to keep my collectibles and my movie channels going, but for different reasons. I think I'm going to fold most of it back into Nerdy Geezer again because it's way too confusing for people. Like, I've noticed when I'm on things or whatever, they'll be like, "Oh, what you got coming up?" And it's people seem to get confused as to what channel I've got what on. It'd be a lot easier if I just said one channel name, then they know. You know what I mean?
I can remember when you set them channels up, and I said it's hard
Yeah.
enough doing one channel, let alone
Yeah.
having 2 or 3. It is
Yeah.
difficult.
I mean, it's difficult finding the time to do videos for all of them all the time. That's one thing,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
But
that's
but it's more difficult trying to tell people where you put things because
yeah.
they don't seem to get which channel you put it on. And so it's like, I think it's going to be easier to just have it all back on the original channel like I originally had it. I know
Yeah.
it caused problems with the algorithm, but I'll be honest, at this point, I really don't give a shit So
I wouldn't care
know,
about
so-
algorithms. Don't care about any of that. As long as people are interacting. And
yeah,
you're
but that's
getting-
that's the point. That's the point, though. I separated them because people weren't. It was killing my videos.
right. Okay.
That was why I separated them. It was
Well, have a reboot. Have a
YouTube
reboot.
wasn't pushing it out, you know. So,
Yeah.
I know what you mean about not caring. Like I'm still at that point now where I'm just like, I say the channel ticks over and what have you, and I've actually had. I don't know. This is. I don't know if this is a good sign or not, but I've had more subscribers since I stopped making videos.
yeah.
It's like I'm going to hit 5,000 soon. And
Well, there you go,
I'm not
mate.
making a video.
You
Like,
don't need
I-
to do any content, Paul. Just let it tick over.
I've had a similar thing. I mean, I'm doing less videos at the moment, and I've had more subs going in. So yeah, I know what you mean.
it's mad.
So yeah, I've kind of slowed down at the moment because I'll be honest, I kind of sort of fell out of love with YouTube a bit for a little while.
I
Like-
never, ever, ever thought I would ever go more than a month without making a video.
Yeah,
I never, I just, I never saw it coming. And now it's like, I think it's 14, 15 months since
Well,
I've done a video.
do you know what it
touched
is?
on
Mental.
though, Paul. You touched on it. Being self-employed is
Yeah.
a massive, massive strain. It's not easy being self-employed because, like what you said, your job is never done. And it's the same with me with the
Oh.
retro realm. It's never
I know,
done.
mate. That's why I'm just like, how do you do it and single
It's just
parent?
you are constantly at work all the time. So this is why my content, I ain't as regular. I had a good month or so where I was doing a video a week, sort of last month or whatever. But majority of the time, it's difficult to find time just to play some games and watch some films, let alone do
Well,
it.
that's my point with why I slowed down and sort of
Yeah.
fell out of love with it, because I was looking at how many people were actually watching, and I thought, mate, why am I taking up all my spare time doing this crap when I could be playing games and watching films? And that's why I kind of fell out of love with it for a bit, because it's like, because you're looking and you're like, not many people are really watching it. So what's the bloody point? I might as well just go and play that game I wanted to play, So that's what I kind of had. That and the fact that, everything's got an advert every 5 minutes as well. I've kind of fell out of love with YouTube a bit. They're greedy bastards.
If I do have any spare time, honestly, like, a couple of glasses of wine on the Video Master, I'm away, I'm trying to beat me high scores.
Yeah.
I've discovered the Switch like about 8 years after everyone else, and I'm loving the 8 and 16 style, like bit style, like retro sort of games that you can get on there for like £2-3. Like I love the Switch. I can't believe I didn't get one before. Like I literally, I don't even touch my PS5 anymore.
But there's content right there, Paul. Let's see content on the Video Master. Let's see content on your new cab. And let's see a Switch top 10. Come on. You used to do top 10s all
Oh
along.
God, yeah,
Right.
Switch top 10.
Trev, I'm turning this comment off right now because otherwise this is going to become a gaming stream.
David,
So-
have you seen the Sega? Is that the diorama of Sonic? Like the intro screen to Sonic the Hedgehog? Is that what he's on about? I think it is. That does look awesome, but I think it's really expensive.
Have you ever noticed how Trev has this knacker coming in right at the end of a stream,
He
asking
does.
loads of questions when you're trying to wrap it up? Have you ever noticed
He
that?
does it every time. He comes right in, right when we're about to close
Yeah,
any stream.
Every
Yeah.
time. Every time. Right, okay. I think we should get out of here.
I mean, for timing.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
look, Alien, there you go. Aliens is finished, so we should definitely end there then. Right, okay. So we're going to come back when the next couple of episodes drop at some point then, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
hopefully
cool.
Chef will join us this time. So put it in your diary, Chef, if he's even still here. And we'll see you later, guys. Like I say, I would put the outro on, but StreamYard won't let me. So
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been good to talk
Yeah,
to
I've
you
enjoyed
guys.
the chat. It's been good.
yeah,
Me
I
too.
think we had a good chat, good explanations behind what we think and all that. Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Let's see if any of what was said comes true.
Yeah.
That will be interesting, won't it?
Kind of nice to
back.
speculate for once, isn't it?
Yeah.
About
it's
something,
nice.
and actually enjoy it, Right, guys, we'll see you later. Catch you, in a couple of weeks' time, I suppose. See you later.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Wow, this takes ages.
We're still